Hello everyone, welcome to Alr Cobalt. This is Wednesday night, and we are doing a bit of a rewind tonight. We are back for the Italian Grand Prix then, of course. So couldn't have the Italian Grand Prix last week, unfortunately, due to a couple of issues with the old PlayStation Network and all that kind of jazz. Then, but yes, we are ready to get going then for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. Then, of course, next week, Cobalters would have had a week off, but that is not the case now, is it? So they will have the Russian Grand Prix next week then. So yes, we are doing a bit of a rewind tonight then. But before we do anything else, let's go through the drivers and the constructors standards, shall we? Around the Templar Speed, which is of course Monza then. So it's Hammer Time who leads the way, 29 points in front of Starbus in second position. J Dog in third. He is 14 points away at the moment now. 14 points away from Starburst, and Iron Knight has moved himself up to fourth. Good stuff indeed there. Ducanco has dropped down one position. Paris has moved up to sixth position as well after a good performance 2 weeks ago now in the Dutch Grand Prix. Cassel down in seventh, and Smithfield, Mighty, Booty, and Brooksy completes the top 10. CGS up one position. Craig are at three positions there. And of course, then, unfortunately, the bottom three is Winnie, Styles, and Liam D. Then, right then, let's get in the. Oh, sorry, and in the constructors' standings, it is AlphaTauri leading 23 points away from in front of the Haas team in second. Aston Martin on third. Fourth position is the Ferrari team who are in front of the Alfa Romeo. In front of the Alfa Romeo, down to fifth. Williams are in sixth, with McLaren in seventh, and Mercedes and Alpine eighth and ninth. And the Red Bull team, unfortunately, completes the top 10 for. Come on, not unfortunately. Unfortunately, at the bottom of there. It's not unfortunate that they're in Cobalt, though, is it? As they're at the bottom of the standings, which is a big shame now for the Cobalt. For Red Bull tonight. Is there? We are almost ready to get going. Unfortunately, I'm a bit flustered at the moment. I've been trying to sort. Um, I've been trying to sort that booty delight out, unfortunately, and yeah. So, well, he's finally starting to communicate. Well done, Booty. Well done. Right. Anyway, yeah. So we're just waiting hopefully, for Booty to get himself in here. But yeah, this is the Italian Grand Prix. This is what they said. So all the Cobalters had to stay back, didn't they? A week or so. So we're here in Italy as well, which is a bit of a nice change, isn't it? Really there. But there we go then. So I think we're about to, as restrictions has updated, and I think we're just trying to get a boot in. Goodness me. I think, to be honest, I kind of blame him because I have a feeling that he hasn't done something like updated his PlayStation or something like that, which he normally does, which he normally doesn't do anyway. So I do struggle with sympathy on this one, unfortunately. 11 turns around this circuit, then 3.5 miles long. Then Barrichello has got the all-time lap record. I'm sure that's the all-time average speed lap record as well, is it? Isn't the fastest lap record in history? I'm not too sure about that one. Well, in Cobalt land, there's Hammer Time, who has the fastest lap of a 1:21.553, which is only 5 tenths away from Barrichello in that incredible 2004 Ferrari, wasn't there? Of course, that mighty beast, that one was there, and that was the seventh and final World Drivers' Championship for, of course, Michael Schumacher, who, of course, I think he's now technically the most. He's technically the most. He's the second most. No, yeah, he's the second most the second most successful driver in Formula One history now, isn't he? In terms of stats, of course, and there's Lewis Hamilton's overtaken him with the in terms of the most in terms of the most Grand Prix wins there, hasn't he, and all that kind of stuff. Right, I think I've got to restart my PlayStation as well now. So this is good, isn't it? Right then, hopefully, unfortunately, 2 weeks in a row, then we're having a bit of gremlins, haven't we? Which is yeah, it's never a good sign, is it there? But hopefully we will get going in a minute. Luckily, though, this is a short one, this one is tonight. It's at the Rush Grand Prix. I've just had the Formula One theme song absolutely blast my ear out. That's good. Right. But I'm also a bit tired as well. It's been a bit of a long old day in the old world of IT and stuff, so I am quite lagging tonight. And so hopefully Cobalt keeps me awake on this one then. Let me get the old spectator up and going in, and we'll be going in just a jiffy then as well. Then, of course. So as we've mentioned, then Cobalt then is here in Italy tonight. We've had to hang back, haven't we? Before we do move on to Russia, then of course, then we're on to Singapore in a couple of weeks' time. At the moment, no Hammer Time, who is leading the championship. Whatever happens here tonight, he will leave Italy. He's still the championship leader. However, he after that appalling disappointing display in the Dutch Grand Prix 2 weeks ago for Hammer Time, in where he had a major off, unfortunately, and got no points there, which is such a shame. Then, so as Russian results as the lobby already broke. I think we're waiting for one person. Unfortunately, it's a relative of mine. He's not having a very good time at the moment trying to get into the lobby. That is a boot delight then. Yeah, Hammer Time crashed out, didn't he, in the Dutch Grand Prix? And that is Hammer Time. I think that was Hammer Time's first DNF of the season, wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. Let me take a quick look at the Ozone statistics. Indeed, it is there. So that was Hammer Time's first DNF of the season. Really, and that's only the second time he hasn't scored points indeed there for Hammer Time. So a bit of a chink in the armour there for Hammer Time. We did feel, though, he was slightly behind at the moment there. Everyone is saying I can't be blamed tonight then. Goodness me, yes, of course. Unfortunately, we did have to have a race restart last night. In fact, I think very good stuff there from Liam, yeah, who started the lobby quite quickly, didn't he? So the lights didn't go on Irvine's screen, and then it was a humongous start line incident, wasn't there? But good stuff indeed there for, I think it was for Vintage, Alibi, and Irvine, and I think a couple of other drivers I got involved as well. So good, a second chance and a second bite of the chair then. So it was a red flag, a race. It was a race stop then. No, then we kept going as well. Kakarot Goku, evening. Oh, good evening, Kakarot Goku. Echo saying, show me, lad, then. How are you? I'm very well, Echo. Hope you're well indeed then. Guna saying, good luck, Cobalt then. We have also got Scott saying, hello there. And Diash saying, ALR with a lovely love heart indeed then. And yes, we will be getting going in just a jiffy. Well, I hope so anyway, goodness me, because I think that I must, as I already said, that I'm really tired tonight. I'm very tired indeed. So I think that after this one, I am going to be tucking myself into Betty Boy's land, and I'm going to be snoozing probably until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, I think, because yes, it's been a brutal old day to say the least. And Echo is saying that we still blame Irvine. Goodness gracious me then. Brutal stuff indeed. I love it. I do love a bit of banter and stuff like that. Really good stuff indeed. We're almost got every driver in now, and we're almost ready to get going. And unfortunately, Cobalt there, 2 weeks in a row now, we've had a couple of issues there from the Cobalt side. But hopefully, don't worry about that, folks. And hopefully, that won't deteriorate you. Deteriorate you? I don't know, right? Deter you from what is going to be a absolutely fascinating Grand Prix as well here in Italy. Then, really good stuff indeed. And Sean is getting old. I am actually getting old. When I looked in the mirror this morning, I did look like an old, a very old Jack Russell there. Very tired indeed. Then Gurman, you won't give Gurman won't give you a second chance. He is evil. Evil can evil then. Echo saying Issy is broken. Codemasters hates Monza then. Well, with now the San Marino being put onto the calendar kind of thing, onto the game kind of thing, they only need one Italian Grand Prix, don't they? Which is a far cry, isn't it, to say the least, then, because I think that having two races in Italy is spectacular. Albeit I still think that the Imola track is at San Marino Grand Prix for me, so it's going to be very much a culture change for me next season, in season 7 next season, where I'm going to call it, was it the Amalia Rod? I don't know, I can't even pronounce it. San Marino, that would do, wouldn't it? Of course, we are heading to Portugal next season as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I look for Imola and even though Portugal and Saudi Arabia and the Saudi races are all being added into the calendar next season, but possibly maybe in addition of the Chinese Grand Prix and even a classic track as well, which Codemasters have promised us, and I'm still waiting for it, to be honest. But there we go then. But you're aging like a good wine there, Diash. You're saying, well, thank you very much then. But I don't feel very fine tonight then. Absolutely don't then. Right. Hopefully we're almost ready to get going then for the start of the Italian Grand Prix qualifying. It's not going to so we're going to do the whole full shebang tonight then. So it's going to be qualifying 1, 2 and 3, and the race itself then, of course, has thank you very much, Echo. I still can't pronounce it. I think it's, what's it, the Emilia Ramrigo or something like that. I don't know. San Marino, that would do me quite nicely indeed then. Yes, anyway, just going back to tonight's events, and yes, because qualifying we had some issues throughout the session last time, didn't we? And And of course, so I think the government's done a very unfair thing and really just basically starting the session all over again. Then, so that's good stuff indeed there for a government. And yes, indeed. And so, which is a shame for some of the drivers because I think the Sir Dave comes to mind straight away, as he is, as of course he had seventh position last week, which was his best slot on the grid, wasn't it? So, and I remember him telling me that on a Saturday night. Then, so that's how exciting our Saturday nights was. We was talking about ALR. There we go. But good stuff indeed then. So hopefully Dave can do the same again here tonight then. But I hope all the other 18 drivers can as well, because it looks like Booted Delight hasn't been able to get into the game then. So it looks like that's all I'm going to be doing, trying to sort that out then next on the weekend then as well. Right then. Hopefully we are now ready to get going then for the start of the Italian Grand Prix, not the Russian Grand Prix tonight. It is the Italian Grand Prix. Oh goodness me! Thank you very much, Troy. Love it. That's, that's very nice indeed. That I hope you mean of course I hope you don't mean on the track though. Of course, to be honest, I'm usually doing the smashing on the track anyways. I seem to drive into anyone, and of course I think when I was driving in ALR last season in the Italian Grand Prix Bronze, I drove into the back of Camera Racer. I think it was like possibly. I was not too happy. I broke my front wing there, which wasn't very good, was it? And I was quite adamant that it was a Camera Racer that braked too early, which is absolute boulder dash, isn't it? There, I just braked way too late, and I was just getting too excited down into turn number one. Then, of course, it's a big old stop, isn't it, from the starting grid to turn one, isn't it? Of course, it's a full qualifying session here tonight. Then, so we are now in the session. That's why we got 19 drivers ready to get going for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. And here we go then. So you may notice that we have Echo in the of course, Echo usually only have reserves in here tonight, but of course we do have Echo, who's usually a full-time bronze driver, and Echo is now the third driver in history of ALR to compete in every single league. So that is gold, silver, bronze, and now cobalt. So good stuff indeed there. Of course, the other two is, of course, Gurman is, of course, Gunnar and Bulky Volcano. So good stuff indeed there. Other reserves in here tonight. We've got Paige, who is stepping in the Red Bull racing car tonight. So good stuff indeed there for Paige said. We have got Florin in the is that in the AlphaTauri? We've got Florin and Scooby Stew in the AlphaTauri. Scooby Stew, I think, who's a full-time driver. Is he? No, Scooby Stew's meant to be in the McLaren. So Scooby Stew is going for the AlphaTauri tonight, and Crusher T is going to the McLaren. And goodness me, that they are swapping seats there. Oh gosh, I'm going to be very confused by the end of this one. But there we go. Good 70 then. Young Tommy then, of course, the silver championship leader at the moment there is leading the way. Of course, leading the way then. Good evening, everyone. Hello to you, Young Tommy as well. Of course, Young Tommy won the best performances in Russia earlier on this week then. Of course, any of you are joining and expecting to see the Russian Grand Prix, it is the Italian Grand Prix here tonight then. As of course we are just catching up then with last week's events there, as unfortunately we had a major problem, didn't we, with the lobby, unfortunately. So that is why the Cobalters have stayed behind then, because usually in LR we normally try and keep it in line, don't we, just to make it easier then. But what we've done is the Cobalters have stayed behind then for a week and have gone on for the Italian Grand Prix. Then we got a week break next week, by the way. So this is the last broadcast that LR is going to do for a week. Goodness me, what am I going to do with myself on the weekend? Good gosh, then I'm going to have to basically just I might have to just put on an old F1 race on YouTube or something and just mute the sound and just talk to myself. That's what I do anyway, isn't it, really? But yes, and so we are in Italy tonight, then, of course. But next Wednesday, ALR will be back in action then for the Russian Grand Prix, of course. And then after that, it is Singapore then. So even though we was going to have a week off, we're not on a week off now for Cobalt, as they have got to, because they had a week off technically last week. So good stuff indeed. We got a car out on the circuit, and it's Echo then, the first driver out, and of course, Echo spun it already now, goodness me. And I think this time, last week he had issues in that turn one as well, didn't he? And I think that mistake in turn one may have cost Echo maybe the Grand Prix win, potentially. But it was a cracking race, wasn't it, in bronze last? Well, no, it wasn't a cracking race at all. It was absolute pandemonium, to say the very least, wasn't it? Echo there just coming into the Delia Rogers chicane, and of course he's got a lovely Italian helmet helmet tonight. I think that's Italian anyway. Absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful 17 then. It's got the green, silver rather than white colours and the green colours there on the crash helmet there. Starburst is just coming out of the pits as well. I think Sir Dave has also emerged into the sunlight. He's got to be careful though, of course. He's the same hair colour as me then. He's a fair-skinned young man, isn't he? Here's Echo though, so Echo on that last minute. And of course, so as I've said then, yes, we're in the Italian Grand Prix here tonight. We're in the Temple of Speed for Cobalt. No hammer time then. So hammer time then, as it starts out qualifying. Hammer time is, of course, he has seen the championship, so he will not be able to extend his lead. And potentially this is a golden opportunity for Starburst and to really home in slightly. And I was just seeing where the second Haas car is of J-Dog, but he looks like he's not in the session here tonight then. On board down with Echo then, he's going over the grid hatch. So look at how long this is from the start down into turn 1 there. And we're breaking into turn 1 now, just after the 100-meter board then. Look at the inside up front tire, slightly left for Echo then before accelerating back on the power for the Williams car then. And away he goes and coming through Curva Grande as well. It's very easy, flat out in the dry, in the wet. It can be very perilous indeed there for Echo. And now coming into the Delia Roger chicane then. 26.6 then to start us on our way then. Of course, a hop, skip and a jump there. Don't want to be too greedy on the inside curbs there because they will just throw you into the air. Now into the first of the two Lesmos then. First Lesmo is a bit quicker than the second Lesmo. Second Lesmo, as Brooksy there is retired from the session then. Second Lesmo is a bit tighter there, but you just got to get on the power for the entry then for the second DRS zone before going under the old bank and then before coming up into to the Ascari chicane as well. And now on the final back straight, we've got yellow flags then. I think that's Sir Dave then, who is come a cropper in one of the Lesbos there, and he's almost spun it again there. Sir Dave has there, unfortunately. Now into the Alboreto curb then. Of course, the famous Ferrari driver in the mid to late 80s then. Out of the final turn then for Echo. And let's see what time he is going to put on the board then to start us on our way in qualifying 1. Remember, this qualifying 1 session is just about losing the 4 slowest cars then. And of course we've got 2 drivers out of qualifying already in this one. It's Brooksy and Styles at the moment now, as unfortunately they are not going to be taking part in a qualifying 1, unfortunately, as Echo then just accelerates out. I remember seeing a article of way back in 2015 or 2016 there about that they was going to modify the 2017 the 2017 race in Italy here. Starbus has gone fastest there by 0.8 of a second there. Good time indeed there for the Aston Martin team. But I was reading an article saying that they was going to extend this start-finish straight and have a mini chicane there through Curva Grande, which I wasn't really too keen on. I'm glad that didn't go up, but now I think I read it in Autosport. We've got Smithy Almighty in third now in the McLaren. He's had a good season, I think, Smithy Almighty has. Oh, goodness me, just I'll say that he goes onto the grass there, and that is why I do not compliment anyone, ladies and gentlemen. There is that is exactly what happens. Here comes Casal. He's dropped on 7th in the championships, and Casal needs to save the ships, doesn't he? And he is on home soil tonight. Casal is, in terms of he's a Ferrari driver here, and the here in Monza, and of course then the Tifosi is going to be cheering for him, isn't he? The Tifosi is going to be standing on their feet, they're cheering away Kaz and Casal tonight then. They are the heroes then. Jinder across the line. Jinder goes at 5th fast at the moment, but I don't think that is a representative time just yet. Paris then, who is also starting this lap as well, and we just got Echo right behind Paris there, as so I think I wonder if they're doing a bit of slipstreaming and potentially a bit of towing. We didn't see much of the tow, did we, in any of the ALR races last week here in gold, silver or bronze, which I was quite surprised by, really, because I thought that but am I surprised though? Because in Formula 1 league racing it's very different, isn't it? Do you really want to help your teammate? Of course you do. I'm sure you do, don't you? Because I am saying I'm a very proud, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks now, but I'm a very proud one half of the Constructors Champions in bronze from last season. Now, of course, it's mainly because Dylan, the world champion of bronze last season, did most of the work there, and I was just there for the fun, really, wasn't I? I was just tagging along. We've got yellow flags coming into the pit lane here. It's something has gone a bit wrong there. I'm not sure what's happened there, but we just had a couple of issues there. I think I also see the yellow flag there coming out of the coming out from underneath the dip under the old Monza circuit, and the bank at Monza, the bank in at the Monza circuit as well. It's incredible, isn't it? How steep is it? Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Paris out of the final turn then, and let's see what Paris can do then. Comes across the line and he goes at full fast then, a fraction behind his teammate. Paris is but I think he'll be fairly happy that. That should get him into qualifying 2, I would say. Jenner's gone full fast, squeezed in between the two Williams drivers, and lovely stuff indeed. That we're just now watching Alr Knight, and of course, can Alr Knight? He's won a Grand Prix this season. That's there. Alr Knight would surely be aiming for his second Grand Prix win here tonight. He's the only Haas driver in the field at the moment, though. Let's see what he can do then. As we've got yellow flags in front of us, and I think he's just won the Williams cars, getting out of the way then. Alr Knight breaking down into turn 1 then. Of course, this used to be a double chicane, didn't it? As Liam D went flying in the second chicane there. We've already spoke about those very high curbs, and they're sausage curbs in the Dalia Roger chicane, isn't there? So if you take too much of those curbs, you will be up in the air and you'll be taken off like a plane. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Liam D in his Alpine car. Alr Knight then getting a bit too overzealous on the exit there of the Dalia Roger chicane, and hopefully that doesn't hurt his time too much there. Alr Knight then on board of now into the second Lesmo then for the Haas F1 driver, and Paris just getting out of the way then. Of course, Paris is done a time. He is the second So's driver who've done time so far. Paris is. Is that going to be safer? I'm not sure it is, to be honest. I think Smithfield Mighty needs to put in a bit of a quicker time, doesn't he? If Smithfield Mighty wants to get through. I think Sir David's about to start his lap then, coming out of the Alberto, I keep saying Alberto, don't I? The Alvaretto curb then. The Alvaretto curb then. Sir David's about to start his lap now, and he has indeed started his lap then. Alr Knight coming across the line then as well. Let's see what Alr Knight can do. He posts a time of a 21.3 there to go full fast, as said. Impressive stuff indeed then. So we've got a car that is just popped into the I think we've got 20 cars now. Excellent stuff indeed there. Just watching Sir Dave, and let's go on board Sir Dave, and lovely helmet design as well by Sir Dave. Absolutely fantastic indeed. Bit of a Brazilian vibe there for the Alpine driver then. Sir Dave 26.7 in the first intermediate split time before coming to the Dalia Roger chicane. And as I mentioned last week, Sir Dave was absolutely loving life, wasn't he, in the Italian Grand Prix last week? As he got 7th on the grid, didn't he? And was doing a very good job, Sir Dave was. So hopefully he can do the same again here tonight then in car 2. As he's finally changed his helmet, but I don't think he knows how to change his number yet. But there we go. We'll take one step at a time, I think, with Sir Dave. He comes up into the Ascari chicane now then. Of course, he's gone a bit wide there, and that is unfortunately the car just understeered there for Sir Dave, unfortunately, and that is invalidated this time. He's going to have another bite of cherry, Sir Davis, and look at this traffic there all the way around then. And this is oh goodness me, we've got Diashi, a returning ALR driver then. Of course, it's unfortunately he had to step out of the full-time seat in the bronze championship, didn't he? Unfortunately for Diashi, but he's back in quite quickly, isn't he? So good stuff indeed then. Don't touch the curve at turn 4 in capital letters there for Echo. Indeed then, of course, it does absolutely propel you in the air, don't it? We just got Ducanco there out of the Ascari chicane down the back straight as well for the Alfa Romeo driver, and you have to diagonal the straight then if you want to get a good entry into the Alboreto curve then, as Michele Alboreto curve there as well, accelerating away then. For some reason I can't say Alboreto without saying his first name then. Ducanco has gone the 6th fastest there in the Alfa Romeo. Good somebody that Page has come back into the pits, and of course in the beautiful white Red Bull livery there. So lovely stuff indeed there for Page then, but well, it's not lovely stuff, is it, for Page, because she hasn't set a time yet, unfortunately. As I was reading the wrong line there. Kaz comes across the line, he goes into 9th fast in the Ferrari there. Ferrari are expectant here tonight, aren't they? And they'll be hoping for a better time than that on the board. Sir Dave has learned from his mistakes on this time around, and he has not tried to shortcut the Ascari chicane. I think it's the worst. I think it's worse since the new update then into the Dalia Roger chicane. I think it is, because I'm sure the Cobalters last week were saying about it as well. It's how high that chicane got, because I'm sure it's in qualifying. Cars absolutely taken off bed. Sir Dave across the line. He goes 10th faster than the Alpine car for Sir Dave, but I think that there's more to come in the back pocket there for Sir Dave. Florin there, of course, in the Alpha Tower. Then we've got 2 different Alpha Tower drivers tonight, haven't we? As I think that Scooby Stew has decided to drive in the Alpha Tower for tonight. It's a good 7th there for Scooby Stew, but I think he's usually with the McLaren team. So if he does score, it will be for the McLaren and not for the Alpha Tower. Talking of Alpha Tower, Florin has gone off the circuit there, so that's not good at all. And he is just recovering now then. Flora now, unfortunately, I'm going to spin at the Dalia Roger chicane, and it's becoming a bit of a problem there at the moment. The Dalia Roger chicane. Crusher T goes 12 fast and on a 24-1 in the McLaren, and he's a second or two away from his teammate at the moment there. So I think he might have to find a bit more pace, isn't he? Then here's Flora now just cruising down the back straight. So far out of qualifying is Liam D, is Styles and Brooksy. Those are 3 retirements in this qualifying session so far. When we raced here in bronze, I'm sure I drove over it okay, and I'm using the same setup there. Good luck there, for Theo was saying, to the bronze as well. Yeah, I think that there is that the update has actually really made those curbs a lot more aggressive, haven't they? Yeah, so really it is got to be very careful indeed. That is, we're on board now with we think with Mick Schumacher. I was about to say Michael Schumacher, with Mick Schumacher, but it's actually Diashi using the Mick Schumacher crash helmet. It's a good 17th there for Diashi, as he now is that his home? No, I think it is Mick Schumacher's helmet, isn't it? Let's see how he goes then, coming down the hill as well then. Depends the angle you take it with, Sir Tommy is saying. And yeah, they changed the curbs from last Wednesday. Of course, there's last Wednesday we did have the update, didn't we? Yes, I think that, because I heard a lot of people complain about that in qualifying as well. When we was qualifying for Cobalt last week, then I think I'm just seeing that one of the Williams cars have just moved out third fast, as it is Paris at the moment. As I said that, remember this first qualifying session, we're aiming to lose the 5 slowest drivers at the moment. Liam D is the first official driver to be knocked out of qualifying. Styles and Brooksy are technically in qualifying too. However, they will not be able to take part because they are out of qualifying, unfortunately. Vintage saying, evening, Sean. Good luck to Cobalt as well. Good evening to you as well, Vintage. And of course, Vintage, who unfortunately didn't score any points last night in Russia, did he, Vintage? But he still had a very vintage season as well. And so good stuff indeed there for Vintage. And he's still my star of the season. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. But unfortunately, both Red Bulls didn't really have much to shout about last night, with Irvine on the front row of the grid, and we had with Irvine on the front row of the grid there, but unfortunately it just wasn't much to write home about, was it? Unfortunately for Irvine, such a shame really there, but unfortunately that's just the brakes really, isn't it? I think we've just seen Sir Dave move over to 10 fast, and we've got Florian who's just gone into 2nd fast, and that's a pretty competitive time indeed there. Diashi's invalidated his time, so he's going to have another bite of cherry. Question T is also invalidated as well. Sir Dave has found 5/10 of second on that second lap then. He is going to be quite a happy chappy as well. Good stuff indeed then. Craig R, who has done who's 9th fast in the second Mercedes, and flying okay as he comes into the pits. And so Craig R with a default helmet out. I'm absolutely appalled. Craig R got Jenner 4th fastest. Paris, who's also into the pits as well. And so we're going to have a bit of a low at the moment, I think. Then, well, I'll say we're a bit of a low. Here comes Diashi, and he's going to have another bite of the cherry as well, as in the Haas car going over the grid. Hutchinson coming across the line then as well. And of course, the joint constructors will be updated here tonight, then, won't they? But of course, as we didn't get, I don't think we got the joint constructors updated last week, did we? After the issues that we had here in Italy, then, but they will be updated here tonight, and of course, so keep an eye on the joint constructors. As I must admit though, but I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that AlphaTauri are still going to be top. Then here's Diashi in the Haas car, and Haas, I think of. Well, I think they've had a really good season, to be honest. And yellow flag in 2. I think it's the only Alpine left in this qualifying session, which is Sir Dave in at 11th position at the moment. Remember, the quest for this qualifying session, Scooby Stew, is out on the lap as well. The quest for this qualifying 1 session is trying to get through into qualifying 2. And now dropping down the hill before coming back up as well for Diash. Then hold on to your hats, when the yellow flag is just in front of us. I think Sir Dave has ran out of fuel. As Diash, I thought he invalidated his time again, then he was very close there. As Sir Dave, I think he's on the racing line there, so I really hope that Sir Dave gets out the way. And oh gosh, I think Sir Dave is just cruising. Oh my goodness me. I don't think Diash is going to be too fond of Sir Dave there, is he there? I think Dave was cruising for a bruiser there, wasn't he? Oh my golly gosh. And I think that he may get at the wrath of Diashi, as Diashi goes 11th fast as well in the Haas car. Scooby Stew then, who is invalidated his time, Scooby Stew is, so he's going to have to also go for another bite of cherry, as a Paige there. Can she get herself into qualifying 2 here? So then look at the Red Bull, and of course it's the tribute livery there for the Honda when they won it back in at 1962. Can't remember the Grand Prix though, but there we go. It's a Paige, sorry, Baguette there, going a bit wide on the old curves. on board with Paige. A lovely helmet, by the way, fantastic purple helmet indeed. That I think when Hamilton had a beautiful purple helmet as well, didn't he? Back in 2020, is it late this year? I just call myself a Hamilton fan. I can't remember his helmet design. Can I? Absolutely shocking performance indeed. That, but I must say I've really grown very fond of purple helmets over the as of late, and they're really nice indeed. That Paige has got a very good helmet here indeed. Who had it? Someone in silver had a fantastic helmet design that was a bit purpley as well. Or was it gold? I can't remember now. I need to. I am getting old then. I can't even remember who had the best helmet in gold or silver. Absolutely appalling performance by me, it really is indeed then. But Paige there in the Red Bull down the back straight as well. Then let's see what Baguette can do then, as she is now going to diagonal the straight then before coming into Michele Alboreto curve then. Scooby Stew is back in the pits then as the checker flag is fluttering, and it's going to be between Paige and I think ZGS here, and who's going to be out of qualifying and who's going to be through into qualifying. And Paige has gone across the line now, and she is 15 fast at the moment now. As ZGS has he got enough time to get another time on the board? That is my question, and I'm going to hopefully have an answer in a not too distant future. As oh my goodness me! I've just seen this. Steve Bruce has been sacked by the looks. And I think that notification was was on my phone since 12 o'clock today, so that's not good, is it? I was just trying to get rid of my notifications as well. Absolutely shocking there. ZGS has really turned a corner, literally and figuratively, in this season, hasn't he? Really, the last couple of weeks that he has been absolutely magnificent. Now let's go on board with ZGS as he comes across lines. The speeds here in Monza is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Sir Tommy's saying, Sean, get your helmets together. I really do need to. I need a talking to, really, don't I? Because it's absolutely appalling. I claim I'm a helmet enthusiast, but I'm far from it tonight, ain't I? My golly gosh, then. Yes, I think I need to get me homework in check, don't I? Potentially. Good to have more. Just good to have more and more female drivers joining. Troy is saying ALR is ticking all the boxes. Yes, indeed, Dan. I think this is very cool indeed. I think it's cool to have drivers from all different types of backgrounds. Female, male, it doesn't matter what nationality you are, anything like that. Of course, we're all race as one kind of thing, don't we? As the F1 slogan says. But not only that, though, we all share a same enthusiast, which is fast cars, Formula One, online racing. That's what we're all here for at the end of the day, isn't it? And that is the most important thing, really, isn't it, in life? Is of course is Formula One the most important thing in life? Well, it is for me. I'm not sure about anyone else, but there we go. But what I meant then is, of course, is that we all share a common bond, don't we? And that is Formula One. So absolutely lovely stuff indeed there. And it's ZJS coming out of the Michele Alboreto curve then for the Mercedes car. He has to beat a 23.5 to get through. He has done. Paige, unfortunately, out of qualifying, down in 16th position now. But remember, though, that I think she is still going to be very happy with the performance she did in Russia. And she was one of my stars of the Russian Grand Prix, along with Maldonado. So talking of our two females in ALR, they both did very well in Russia. Very good stuff indeed there. Hats off to both of them. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. Yeah, I should say no practice, awful setup, but loving racing for ALR. And that's exactly what we like to hear. Not the fact you've got an awful setup, not the fact that you've had no sleep and no setup. The fact that you love racing for ALR. Starburst fast then from Echo in second position now, as I missed out Echo moving up into second there, as we was concerned more about the bottom drivers then, and these are the bottom 5 drivers then. I got to say that first qualifying session, very impressive indeed, because we had a lot of incidents and accidents in the qualifying sessions last week, but this week it's completely changed. That's like good stuff indeed there. Scooby Stew out, Liam D out, Styles, Brooksy and Paget all out of qualifying 1, unfortunately, as we proceed into qualifying 2 for the Italian Grand Prix. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of all these notifications there, and for some reason Emerson Snapchatted me as well, so let's ignore that. I thought I blocked him. How has that happened? We got Baguette is saying there that Paige is saying not a fan of this track at all, so I'm not disappointed then. It's a very unusual track, isn't it? It's on paper it looks quite straightforward, doesn't it? Like fast corners followed by straights, fast flowing corners followed by straights, and fast straights followed by fast corners as well. And of course, We've got a couple of Mickey Mouse chicanes as well. Plus, can I avoid the carnage of plus I can avoid the carnage of turn 1 then. And yes, that is very good thinking indeed then. Unfortunately, I didn't do it last season as I went to the back of one of the Alpha Males then. And there's a reason why I'm called Ginger Rage, because I had a big old rage about that as well. But there we go. Less said about that, the better, I would say. Not one of my finest races either, really, but because then I also pitted in the wrong time as well. It just shows that it's not about being the fastest; it's also about having a good head on your shoulders as well. Unfortunately, I am neither. So out of the pits now comes Craigar in the Mercedes. Echo is the first driver out. Then, of course, they're on the medium tires. For anyone who's new joining us tonight, then welcome. Of course, anyone who is joined ALR before would know what I'm about to say and all this spiel for them. But of course, the most important thing is keeping everyone up to date. Then, and if you enjoy something, you will enjoy something the more you understand it. Well, that's not the case for me, because I don't understand a lot of things in life, but I do enjoy Formula 1 then, albeit it's a technical sport and it's well above my head more often than not. Then goodness gracious me, the technology of these hybrid cars is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? But I don't understand one iota about it, but there we go. But anyway, yes, just going back to this qualifying knockout format for anyone who's joining us then. Knockout format doesn't mean that you're going around and hitting drivers then, because that is not what you should be doing. What you're doing then is we're losing 5 drivers in qualifying 1, then we're losing another 5 drivers in qualifying 2 until we get to qualifying 3, which is then we're going for pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. It's 10 cars, who is the best in those 12 minutes, and that is the most important part of qualifying, isn't it? Of course, in qualifying 2, there is an added peril. That is, if you get into qualifying 3, you must start on the exact tyres that you set your fastest time on in qualifying 2. So that whether that's the medium or the soft set, it doesn't matter. You have to start on the race, unless of course it's changeable conditions there where you might have a wet race or anything like that. I don't think we've got a wet race tonight. I haven't heard anything in the old comments there, so I assume that there's no wet racing about. So it looks like it's just dry as a chip here tonight then, albeit my chips are there dry because I usually douse in vinegar. Just watching Echo coming through Curva Grande as well, on board with Echo. I am very impressive stuff. I love that helmet, by the way, from Echo. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Then, of course, this is round 12 tonight, the Italian Grand Prix. This is the longest season in Cobalt history, I remind you. We only had 11 races last season. Yes, I think so. Yeah, we did have 11 races last season, didn't we, in Cobalt? This series, and we got 20 races in Cobalt. Next season, we're hoping to have 23 plus races in Cobalt next season as well. Goodness me, absolutely incredible stuff. Oh my god, gosh, I'm just getting giddy just thinking about the races for next season. But I should not be getting giddy about that. I need to be getting giddy about this season first, don't I? And of course, because we have no idea who's going to win the championship, do we? We may have a idea. We may have a favourite. Of course, the favourite at the moment may be Hammer Time, but at the moment he is only 29 points away. I say only 29. That's one of the slenderest gaps there in all of ALR at the moment, because young Tommy is almost checked out. I think he's 103 points in front of Fanjo now in silver, and 104 points in front of Dylan. Here comes Echo coming across the line, and Echo goes fast as that on the 22.4 to start us on our way. Jinner's gone second fast on the 22.9. These are quick times on the medium tires. Very impressive indeed. Craigar snuck his nose cone just in front of Jinner by less than 300 a second. He is second fast at the moment. Craigar, remember, it's not about being the fastest starting on the front row or starting on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. This is just about to decide on who is going to be challenging for the front 5 rows for qualifying 3, of course. Out of the Michele Alboreto curb, and here comes Page then across the line as well. And he goes at full fast then. Page doesn't. I think that he might have been at sandbagging there. Here comes Starbus, and he does a 21.7 then. That's not sandbagging at all by Starbus then. Starbus second in the World Championship. This is a golden opportunity tonight then to really inflict pain on the championship leader, which is Hammer Time at the moment. Smith Almighty goes full fast at the moment. Let me take a look. I was just in a comment there, and as we're just watching Kaz out. How's Kaz and ZGS in the standards from Devon there? And and the ZGS is 11th at the moment now on 31 points, 112 points away from the championship leader. Kaz is 16th at the moment on 16 points, 127 points away from the leader. Dukanko is in some major peril. He is out of qualifying, unfortunately, and that is not very that's an unusual place. I'm not even sure how. I think he's had a failure of some kind, hasn't he? It looks like he's just pulled off to the side of the track, unless he's the car looks fine. I think I'm not sure actually, because it looks like he's lost the front wing actually. Whatever the case may be, Dukanko is out of qualifying, and that is not good at all. Kaz is just cruising back into the pits as well. Serious Rush saying that is the spirit. Page said indeed then, because I think Serious Rush did a very similar tactic to this time last week in Silver, didn't he? Watching Crusher T then, who's navigating the one of the two Lesmos now. Here is Crusher T in the second Lesmo. Yellow flag in one. It's one of the Williamsons there just cruising in the back straight, and the Paris there has done a much better time now. He has now got himself up into third position. He has indeed then. Oh, excellent. German there has got me a packet of wine gums and a Galaxy bar for the rest of this, for the end of season now. That is really lifting my spirits. Some fantastic stuff indeed there. And yes, indeed, I do I do want some wine gums now. Ooh, I think I might have to nip to the shop. Well, no, I can't really, because I probably could, but it's raining outside. I don't like going outside anyway, and I don't like people, so I'm going to have to. I might have to ask nicely for someone to get me some. But I do fancy some wine gums now. Oof, yes. Talking of which, actually, I was quite. I'm not sure if I said this already, but I think it was the other week. Actually, I was quite infuriated about the fact that the Tesco's meal deals. Well, before we talk about that, Florin goes fast on a 21.496 there. That's a good time indeed there for the AlphaTauri. Lovely stuff indeed then for Florin, and fastest so far. Sir Dave has emerged out of the garage. There he is. As we watch Sir David's quite a fit in next, we're going to talk about food. So yes, I was quite animated and quite infuriated a couple of weeks ago. It's Tesco's has taken out the dual Whisper bars out of their meal deal. So now my meals come to like £4 something instead of £4 like 50 instead of £3. I do love a good bargain, so I've had to settle for these Kellogg's cereal bars kind of thing, which I've got to say are not too bad then. I was frowning a bit, to be fair, because I've got to say that does sound quite healthy, and that's one thing I do not do is any of that kind of stuff. Goodness gracious me. We just got to Search Rush saying, yeah, but my tactic failed short then. King Toma, of course, a former ALR driver, saying, yeah, I'll go get some from Asda around the corner at work. Because King Toma was saying that. I think that Asda's meal deals, are they £3.50 or are they now £3? I'm not sure. I think the co-op is £3.50, isn't it? Goodness gracious me then. Well, there's not much going on track at the moment. I think it's some drivers just come back to the pit lane. Sir Dave is getting a bit wide into turn one there, so Sir Dave is going to lose a bit of momentum, and you need to have as much momentum as you can. They're going for Curva Grande here, so Sir Dave is going to be on the back foot slightly on this lap then. Talking about the food and all that kind of stuff, that is basically the most excitement my life gets at. Sir Dave has done a lovely bunny hop there through the Della Roger chicane, and I've got to say, I think that is it Sean White who's the expert? No, it's Danny Maxgill, isn't it, there, who is a really good biker, wasn't he? I think Maxgill will be very impressed with that, but unfortunately Sir Dave is not in the Red Bull clan, so he's in the Alpines now, so he's not going to be too up with that at all. So that's such a shame now. Yes, that's as exciting as my life gets, apart from ALRs, when I'm talking about food. Just watching Sir Dave, and he's had a bit of an adventurous lap here at the Alpine driver. He's gone very wide out the Ascari chicane as well. Serious Question has just said, God, I hate this laptop. I wonder if it's made by Haas. And talking of I hate my laptop, I've also been asked to update my internet security at the worst time ever, because now I can't see my spreadsheet. That's great stuff. We have got Sir Dave across the line, and what does he do? He does a 23.6 at the moment. Iron Knight is on the soft tires. So we're talking about tires in a minute. King Tome said the third item is the cheapest. Co-op with Iron Knight is off the circuit there, and he is facing the wrong way. He's gone off at quite a high velocity here. Iron Knight has to look at the yaw on that Haas car. Goodness me, that back end is very much pointed into the sky. I'm talking the back end there. Iron Knight does not want to hit the back end on that Haas car at all. Yes, he just lost there. Took too much of the curb there, and the Haas spun the car, and unfortunately that is cost him his. Is he just dipping his toe into the gravel there slightly? But he should be all fine and dandy. Co-op with the legalised robbery, Sean, then. Yes, I don't really go. I only go to the co-op when I'm over the forest, really. They do have some very fine, salty nuts, so, oh gosh, I do love a good nut. Really do indeed. Especially, I like the, is it the cashew nuts? Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there. Really good stuff. I'm trying to get rid of this update then. I don't know, update in an hour, that would do. Yeah, great stuff. Go away. Good stuff. Here comes DJS and down the back straight then. Yes, the nuts from Co-op, absolutely fantastic stuff. Oh, never shop at the Co-op. It's a rip-off, Fed. We got Echo saying, yay, Manchester United have not scored yet. Haas's fault, that is. Out of the final turn then for DJS, and he is now is he coming into the pits? Indeed, he is. Iron Knight is out of qualifying, unfortunately. That's not good at all. Kaz is coming down the back straight in the Ferrari. Remember, Ferrari have gone home turf tonight, and so there is a lot riding on him at the moment. As Keith saying, have a good one, Ginger. Nice to hear your Gloucester voice again, legend, and legend in your own lunchtime meal deal. Indeed, that of course I think that if I ever get into power, I'll be making sure that the meal deals will be coming down to £2.50 and abolish the old sugar tax. I'm not even sure. Is that still a thing? I think it is actually, isn't there? Because I'm sure that the old Pepsi and Coke have gone up quite a bit as well. Of course, to be honest, this is meant to be like an esports event, isn't it, really? And there's nothing sporty about my commentary tonight. Absolutely appalling stuff indeed there, of course. Really, I'm just talking about food, really, shouldn't I? We're commentating over athletes. And there's me talking about food then. So it's shocking performance indeed then. 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying 2 session. Just watching Sir Dave, who I think is full of fuel at the moment, Sir Davis. And so he's going for another bite of cherry. He does have time to abandon this time and come back into the pits. So if he wants to go into the soft compound tires, Kaz invalidated his time. He was 1.5 seconds up before he invalidated there, and that would have got Kaz, I think, through into qualifying 3. So that's not good at all. Iron Knight then, unfortunately, out qualifying. He made a mishap at the Ascari chicane, and now I think that might have damaged the car slightly, and that has really put him on the back foot. Diashi just coming into one of the first Lesmos then. Well, there's only Diashi's gone wide, unfortunately. Well, of course, there's only one first Lesmo, and it's that Lesmo there, isn't there? Jinner is coming across the line, and he's going to start a lap as well. So let's watch the Aston Martin driver. No, we're not. We're going to watch the Mercedes driver, actually, Craig R. It's not like I'm even in control of the race directory, bro. It sounds like I'm not, doesn't it? There's Craig R. Look at the understeer on that Mercedes there. That car is not very compliant now from Craig R. It's, the car just refused to stick at the first Desmo. Sweet as a nut in the second one, though, for Craig R. Lovely stuff indeed there. And that is much better indeed there for Craig R. Lovely. Now just rising back up there as comes up to the Ascari chicane. He's 34 inches a second up then. 84 inches a second up in the second sector there for Craig R. Very much at the limit of the Mercedes and beyond there. I think that this is exactly what we love to see in qualifying, isn't there, where the drivers are at peak performance. And of course, we are going to also step up a notch as well in qualifying 3 as well. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. And we'll just accelerate out now. Let's see then what Craig R. Well, Craig R. has abandoned his time because he was not gaining the time that he wanted then, unfortunately. So he is back in the garage now. Jinner is, he's got a bit greedy on the second part of that Ascari chicane, and unfortunately, Diashi is now a tenth of a second up in the second intermediate split time. We got a Williams out there as well. I think it's Echo on an outlap. Echo is currently safe and sound then. However, he's come out on the medium, out on the soft tires. I think he did his first time run on the medium tires. Yellow flag as one of the Mercedes has had some issues there. As DGS has gone off at the Della Roger chicane here. He is now just sorted himself out and gone back onto the circuit then. Diashi's 5/10 up in the second split time. Good stuff indeed then. I will be the first one out on my setup. It is so bad I need to start making my own, Liam D is saying. And yeah, I think unfortunately setup is quite unfortunately or fortunately, Diashi hasn't got no helmet at all now, so he's stolen Mick Schumacher's helmet, and now he's got none at all then. So that is quite appalling for him from Diashi. He goes across the line. He's second faster, 2 seconds away from Florin, who is the benchmark in this qualifying session at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then. It's Jinner going for a fourth time lap on these soft tires, and that is pretty impressive indeed then. Going back to Liam Deed's comment then, before I move on. Yeah, Liam Deed, and of course, unfortunately or fortunately, their setups are quite a big part of Formula 1 these days, isn't it? And of course, if you don't have a good setup, you will struggle. And unfortunately, Liam Deed does sound like he is struggling. Oh, goodness me, Jinner there really wresting the car of the Aston Martin there, but he's coming down the back straight away. He's currently in qualifying for the moment, 20 seconds to go. Always the best way, Liam D. Everyone drives differently. Yeah, you can find base setups on the Tantron and things like that then, but every driver is different. Exactly what Serious Motion said there. You're all unique out there, aren't you? So you all got to really fine-tune that. Jinner goes fast as well, and you felt that on that lap, didn't we? It was an absolute adventure of a lifetime, wasn't it? I love that. That really impressive stuff indeed. Then Echo's on and out on the lap moment. Florence gone out as well. As I think that Craigar and Smith Almighty maybe nervously looking over their shoulders here, because they have not come out of the pits, and then qualifying is done. Starburst has stayed in the pits as well. He should be safe. And here is Sir Dave, and he is now going under the Odo. Monza banked as well. Love that shot. Boom, fantastic as he flies past me. 6/10 of a second up. Sir Dave is in the second split time. That is in the ballpark. That is what he needs for Sir Dave. But now getting his way through the Ascari chicane as well on the back straight, and coming down in the Michele Alboreto curve then for Sir Dave, and he has the diagonal the straight then, and there it is. And look at that, it looks like a cul-de-sac, but there's a corner in there. Sir Dave has found it, and look at this then as he's now accelerating away on the low pedal as hard as you dare then. A Haas car is facing the wrong way, I think I see, and Sir Dave is in 5th position there. Magnificent stuff indeed then. We've got a lot of checking flags out there. Kaz is 4/10 of a second up. ZGS is coming across the line, and ZGS hasn't set a time just yet. He has set a time now, and it's the fastest in qualifying too. Magnificent. Crusher T out of the final corner as well. Here he comes then at 8th gear then, and he is 14th fastest. That is not enough then for Crusher T. We have still got 9 cars then that are in qualifying free. Smith Almighty's out. Craigar is out of the qualifying as well, unfortunately. And here comes Kaz then out, and let's see what he can do then. Can Kaz get himself into qualifying at number 3 then for the Ferrari? And he doesn't, unfortunately. He's lost the time at the end of that final lap then, or final sector I should say, and he is out then. One Ferrari is through into qualifying 3, one Ferrari is out of qualifying, unfortunately, as we now move into qualifying 3 then. We've got 9 drivers then. It's going for pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix here tonight, and who is it going to be? So as much as should aim for a steady setup with not too much understeer or oversteer. I think I do quite enjoy racing with oversteer, but it's not a very good way to race, is it? Though, because you're basically going to be fighting the car all the time, causing more and more tire wear, and it's just going to be a never-ending spiral, isn't it, down into despair. And also you're more likely to crash as well, which I do quite a lot really. And to be fair, I should be a marshal really, shouldn't I? Because I'm more often near the barriers, or in the barriers rather than on the track then. But there we go. Anyway, ZGS at 5/10 second quicker than Gina there. ZGS there kind of left it on the line towards the end there, but goodness me, that man is immune to pressure, isn't it? It's cool as a cucumber. ZGS, Gina, D Ashley and Sir Dave all on soft tires, medium tires for Florent, for Starbust, Echo, Paris and Casal. Ducanco starts 10th position on medium tires there. Out of qualifying is Smith Almighty, Craigar, Kaz and Crusher T, and Iron Knight I think is out of position there, so watch Iron Knight there. It's going to be interesting coming through the field as well. And for some reason my anti-virus is telling me that I've reached my maximum number of devices. I only have one, you fool! I only have one! Goodness me. Right, qualifying 3 then. Here we go. It's I thought we muted that. Now I've got another one. Good stuff. Anyway, yeah, enough about that. Then I seem to be very popular tonight for some unknown reason. I think that Emerson must be born in a chip shop again. Right, we're into qualifying 3 then for the Monster. Who's coming on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix? Well, over the course of the season, we've had 4 pole positions for Brooksy. He ain't going to add a 5th one to his collection because he is going to be 18th on the grid, I think, something like that. So he is not going to be able to add to his collection then. We have had 1 pole position there for Ducanco. He's not going to add to that either because he crashed in qualifying 2, unfortunately, and he'll be starting 10th on the grid then. Paris, can he add a pole position to his name as well? Florian is looking the class of the field at the moment there for Cirrus Mushroom. Cirrus Mushroom said that, not me then, so if it goes wrong, it's Cirrus Mushroom's fault. We have got Hammerton with a pole position as well. I can't believe Hammerton's only got 1 there, as he's been so good on race day. Iron Knight with a pole position, he's not going to add to his collection either, and Starburst could get his 3rd one here tonight if he gets pole position. So that is the state of play in the constructor standings, in the pole position standings, I should say. As we've got Echo, who seems to like the outside of turn 1 there, doesn't he? He seems to be part of that circuit more often than not. Diash is the first driver out on circuit, so he's going to be the first driver to put in a time around the moment. 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I'll be interested to hear what you guys think about who's going to be on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. Of course, I meant to be on the fence there, so I'm going to remain on the fence, mainly because I'm too scared of predicting anything and for a driver to go into the barrier or something like that. Serge Mushroom is trying to delete the comment, but unfortunately it's out of the airways now. Then I've said it, there's no going back unless you rewind the stream there, or maybe just mute that part of the stream, I don't know. That's the beauty about the stream, isn't it? Or listen over YouTube. I told it, which of course the United States Grand Prix on this week as well, isn't it? There is the Ashley Styles got a helmet, so I'm absolutely appalled by this man's display tonight. Disgraceful behaviour indeed. That of course I'm never appalled by Diashi's speed though, or determination as well. Of course, ALR veteran now, isn't he? Diashi is good stuff indeed. Then I think Diashi has appeared in silver, gold, silver, bronze, and cobalt. I don't think he's ever appeared in gold yet. Then, so he's only one league away from appearing in all four. Then, of course, we've had 3 drivers now that have appeared in all 4 leagues, and of course, Diashi is not Diashi. Sorry, Echo is the latest member of that exclusive club. And so good stuff indeed. Then, only 3 drivers in history has appeared in all 4 leagues and of ALR, which I like stats like that. That's really gives me a lovely warm glow. Diashi in the first sector, 26-4 into the Delia Rogers chicane as well. And of course, we had a humongous smash there back in 2000. There was a front end as well. I think Marshall unfortunately lost his life as well. I think Frenson and Trulli came to blows, and then it took out Coulthard. Didn't take out Coulthard, it took out Barrichello. And I think Della Rosa went over the back of Stone as well, didn't he? I'm sure he went over the back of one of the Jaguars. Was it Johnny Herbert or Eddie Irvine? I can't remember now. It was quite a scary incident indeed then in 2000 there. And of course, at the end of the race as well, Schumacher got emotional because I think he equaled Ayrton Senna's Grand Prix wins, wasn't it? 41 or something like that. Or 53, I think it was 41 because it's pretty shocking stuff indeed then. But yeah, Schumacher did get Schumacher got very emotional like that, didn't he, when he equaled Ayrton Senna's record there. Amazing how they put the balaclava on, but you can never see, but they don't fix the game. Yeah, that is a very good point actually. Yeah, you guys, Diashi's gone fast on the 21.3. We'll talk about the balaclava in a minute. Jinner's gone at fast, is now on the 20.8, and Jinner is looking on song, isn't he? And I think that Jinner was looking very strong as well in the Dutch Grand Prix as well. Hopefully, if he stays out of trouble, because in a qualifying trim, Jinner is very good then. Unfortunately, the race trouble seems to find him, doesn't it? So hopefully he can have a clean weekend tonight then for Jinner, or clean week, I should say. As Casal goes across the line for Ferrari, and the Scuderia is going to be absolutely on their feet as he is on pole position. And here it is. It doesn't get better than that for Casal, and the Tifosi is going to be overjoyed with this result as well. So pole position for the Ferrari. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Casal, and wow, that one's come out of nowhere, hasn't it? Really good stuff indeed, a bit like on RKO. Fantastic stuff there from Casal. He is fast. Florin, who's invalidated his first time run then, so he's going to have to go around again then. Sirius Russia was saying how good he was looking, but I'm not pointing any fingers. Paris there is out of the second Lesman and down the back straight. He's going to have a lovely cheeky slipstream there, and I think it's with his teammates, and I think it's Echo there providing the excellent teamwork. TJS has emerged out of the pits as well. He has indeed then. So Paris there, I'm wondering if he's a bit too far back. Of course, the slipstream now, or the dirty air effect, it really affects these F1 cars from over 5 seconds back then. Over 5 seconds back, that is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Of course, next season we do have the new Formula 1 cars, albeit, in my opinion, they're still a bit too long for me. I feel they need to be a bit shorter. I think 2008 length is absolutely fine for me then. I would actually go a bit shorter than that as well, personally. The 6th position there for Paris there, a bit off the pace, unfortunately. Florin is going for another bite of the chair as well. Casal coming back in the pits. Jinner and Starbus also finished off, and Echo goes full fast instead in the Williams. We're going to stick with Florin for the minute as he comes out of Kerber Grande as well. Sir Davis only got 1 set of tires by the looks of things, so he's not coming out just yet. Unfortunately, I've just kicked my bottle over again. Sirius Rush saying still saying that Florin is a favourite as he's starting on the medium tires. Indeed, he is, isn't he? There, we'll go through the start tires then at the start of the Grand Prix as well. So, I think that's a very nice way to talk about the tires, isn't it? Florin there in the second lesson with good stuff indeed, and he is back on the power now, and good this way then. I love this shot. Look at that. That's fantastic stuff indeed. I'm going to ask Sir Alex Knowlesy to put that on the end of season tribute video then, because I absolutely love it indeed then. It's fantastic, isn't it? Of course, all the work that everyone in ALR does is absolutely magnificent stuff. Whereas the league admins, our social media manager, albeit she did get a bit confused as where he were tonight in Cobalt, but I don't blame her, because I was always confused as everyone else there. Then we've also got Florin there goes coming into the pits, and so he's abandoned his time now. Florin now there, so he's in the pits there, has to slow down there. Remember that the pit in here is you're coming off a very quick track second coming into the pit lane quite quickly. You have to be very good on the old brake pedal around here, which is probably the most obvious thing I've said in a while. But coming in the pits, especially because you get a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. That 5-second penalty could make or break your Grand Prix, so you have to be very cautious coming in the pits. And Paris has gone 4 seconds quicker, and it's in second position. About that good stuff indeed there for the Williams driver. Magnificent stuff. Here comes ZGS then out of the final turn and out of the Michele Alboreto curve, and coming up to the line. What is he doing? He's fifth fastest. ZGS is strong. Is very strong at the moment. Isn't really impressive indeed. I'm really enjoying ZGS. ZGS is performed on and elevating himself higher and higher in bronze. In Cobalt, he's doing a magnificent job. ZGS is. I'm singing his praises every week then, but hopefully he continues that form as well. Of course, last week he was fifth. For a week before he was on third. Then he had DNF in Hungary, but the week before that he was fifth again. It's really his season really began in the French Grand Prix where he got his first points of the season, but the British Grand Prix, magnificent. In the last 4 races, he has finished at fifth. He's of course in the last 4 races, 3 of the last 4 races, he's finished at fifth or hard. That is an absolutely incredible form there for ZGS. There, we've seen this form as well in the opening exchanges of Cobalt last season. There before he dipped off again. He really loves this part of the season, doesn't he? Oh, look at that then. Lovely shot there of the nose, not the nose cone, it's the nose of the Ashley there. Oh, goodness me, look at those eyes focusing away then. That's a unique shot then. I don't think you're going to see that ever again in AR, are you? Magnificent stuff indeed there. Into the second Lesmo as well then for Diashi. Going back to DJS said, yes, this is he loves this part of the season, because remember, Cobalt started in the British Grand Prix last season, and as ZGS said, in those first couple of races in Cobalt was magnificent, but I think that ZGS is on such a fine run of form now. I think he's going to take it in right through to the end of the season as well, and kind of get a promotion spot for ZGS then. I wouldn't count him out then for ZGS then. Really good stuff indeed. Diashi then, who's 7th fast at the moment. He's a closer time runner so far. Aston Martin in the background now, I think it was. It was indeed. I couldn't see who it was, but I think they're on an outlap at the moment, so they're not going for a quick one at the moment. Diashi is, and Diashi goes 6th fast at the moment there. Diashi does in the Haas car, slightly off the pace at the moment there. Sir Dave coming out the Alboreto curve as well then. Let's see what he can do then. He goes 7th fastest, Sir Dave. That's good stuff indeed there. And Jitter going down in turn 1 and Paris there. Oh, goodness me, then Jitter has spun the car, and that is not a good way to start off your one of your final attempts. And luckily, he's got 3 minutes to go in this session now, so he can recover. He can hopefully recover quite quickly. Paris is a 10th for a second down in the second split time. Let's hope he has a good final corner or two here. And he is in the pits. He is coming in the pits, and Paris is, and so he's abandoning that time. Sir Dave in the first sector, and he is he's getting out of the way of Jitter at the moment. Diashi is improving again there by 8700 second end in the Haas car as well now, before rising up into the Ascari chicane as well. I remember having that form when I was young, or younger than for Serious Russian. Yeah, unfortunately, Serious Russian not liking the game and not liking the car he's in either, I think, for this season for Serious Russian. But I do have I do bet my bottom dollar that Serious Mushroom will be back in the regular point scoring positions, and I think either as soon as he gets out of that Haas car, or well, as soon as he gets out of the Haas car, really, because I think that he's just Serious Rusher is not a fan of the old Haas team, is he? Then I'm not sure. I wonder if the Haas car will keep those colours for next season, then, or whether they will. Because there is a rumour. Well, there has been a rumour for a while now, but there was a rumour that Rich Energy was going to respond to them and all that kind of stuff. And if Gene Haas ever called it a day in the old in Formula 1, then which. Be quite ironic, wouldn't it, to say the very least, after the debacle of the British Grand Prix a couple of seasons ago in 2019. Goodness gracious me, and what made it worse? Was it that also the season where Roman Grosjean crashed into the pit in the pit exit as well? So it was not a very good weekend there as a for the Haas team. There's all kinds of shenanigans on social media with the milk flow and stuff like that, which I got to say, it did tickle me a bit then, but if you're a big major sponsor, if you're a title sponsor of a Formula 1 team and you're doing that, I don't think it's very it's not very befitting, is it, to say the very least. I'm once talking. I'm very I'm talking all kinds of nonsense on the stream, and I'm meant to be I'm meant to be as professional as possible, but far from it indeed. Then Starburst out of the final turn. Then Starburst, I should say, not Starburst. I do fancy some Starburst. So as Starburst is on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix, and that is a great final effort over indeed there for Starbust. Magnificent stuff indeed, going for his third pole position of the season then. What about Diashi? Diashi, I think, was full of fuel, in the, but I think he's out of fuel now, unfortunately. But you've got Casal, who wants to take back that pole position, and he wants to do it on the home soil of Ferrari, and he is definitely trying as hard as he can now. Gino there, he's just got Casal and a very slow Diashi there, very much in the firing line. Now Diashi doing a good job there to keep out of the way of Gino. Gino is very good in qualifying, isn't he? Accelerating out the Alboreto curve as well. Let's see what he can do then. Gino comes across lines in pole position, not quite, but his third fastest there. He's at the limit of the car, he's at the limit of the Aston Martin, but he's still doing a great job indeed. Paris is coming across line. We've got a Mercedes in the background, and CGS then starting this up. He's got a lovely slipstream, CGS then. We've just seen, I'm sure we've seen someone there just go over the grass slightly, unfortunately. I think it was Diashi just getting out of the way there. Here's Florin, who hasn't set a time just yet. Florin's on pole position by a 20.2. Wow, impressive stuff indeed there. As Echo's found time as well, he's full fast in the end. Echo is a checker flag has fallen, and it is Echo third, Sir Dave ninth, Diashi in at 7th position at the moment. What about the other Aston Martin then? We have got Gino, who is out of qualifying, unfortunately. I'm looking for the other Aston Martin. Oh, it's, I think that Starbust has called it a day. I think he has called it a day, and he's coming into the pits, and he's on the front row of the grid now, which is good stuff indeed. Then Casal, who's coming down into the Ascari chicane as well. Watching him then. We're watching him now, and look at this, and it says, oh, he's invalidated his time, Casal, as he was the defending pole, etc. at the start of his final runs, but unfortunately he's been a bit too greedy there, and he's invalidated his time. Oh, incredible stuff indeed there. And look at this, that is CGS is going to get a lovely slipstream now on the back straight. No DRS on the back straight here, coming into the Michele Alboreto curve, and Paris has backed off. And so that's a problem for Paris then, and now we've got CGS then coming into the Michele Alboreto curve band as well. Of it now. What can CGS do that? He's on 5-4 at the moment, and the Mercedes across the line. He is second fastest. An incredible final time there for CGS. But it is Florin. I think this is his first Grand Prix start in Kobo. Indeed he is. Indeed it is. It's his pole position for Florin. His first ever pole position in his ALR career. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And yeah, well done indeed there to Florin. It's his first race in Kobo. His first pole position indeed then. Well, he's going to be a very happy chap with that one, isn't he? There, good stuff indeed there for Florida. There, he did look the class of the field, didn't he? And Church Worship does know where he can spot talent. Fantastic stuff there. He is on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. Well done to Florida there. Absolutely great stuff. So as that is the end of qualifying at 3, and what an incredible end to qualifying. That was a fantastic stuff indeed there. Devon is saying, let's go ZGS front row. That was a fantastic final lap there for ZGS, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed there. Diashi is saying should have been a better lap for me. Absolutely good there. Great lap from Ziggy Starbust, and I rest my case there. Serious Rusher would say as well. I think he was on about that Florin, who's on pole position, and there he is then in the AlphaTauri. Doesn't matter who AlphaTauri puts in that car just seems to steamroll, doesn't it, to the front of the field. Magnificent stuff indeed there. I think it's raining cats and dogs outside. Goodness me. Hopefully it's not raining cats and dogs for the Italian Grand Prix. Florin on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. His first ever pole position. ZGS would have been his first pole position potentially, but that is his best start of his career in ALR. Good stuff indeed then. It's a long run down into turn 1. Not as long as Rush Hour, where the other ALR drivers have been this week, but it is still long enough for ZGS to have a good old sniff into turn 1 there, and potentially put Florin off his stride as well. Serious Rush saying good luck all indeed. I echo that. Good stuff then. And here we go then. This is going to be a cracker. And then, yes, as we're now starting the Grand Prix itself, lovely shot. I love it. Look at those sleeping policemen. Are they called sleeping policemen now? I'm not sure what they are they? Really? But they used to be called sleeping policemen, or kind of things. Now they're probably now speed bumps, actually. And are they speed bumps? I'm not sure. I don't think you should call them a ramp, though, should you? Because I think that we've already seen a couple of drivers trying to ramp over turn 4, which is probably not the best way to do it, is it? But who am I one to judge then? I would probably try and ramp over it and go faster, really. But there you go. And probably damage my car or go into the wall. Right. Now then, here we go then for the Italian Grand Prix. And this is our 4th and final race of the week for ALR. Remember that this is our we're having a week. We got a summer break for ALR this season, haven't we? Which is very unusual. Well, it's not unusual. It's only unusual in the back end of the season, isn't it? Of course, we do not, because ALR races on a Sundays. We don't want to Of course, we don't want it to overrun for Formula One, or of course anyone's missed. So that's why we always take a break then when the United States Grand Prix is on, and I think is it Mexican Grand Prix as well. I believe that we usually take a break from. We usually have a break from kind of thing then. That's what we're doing then. So next week, of course, there is the only action for ALR will be at the Cobalters, as they're going to be racing on Wednesday night in the Russian Grand Prix. As they're just going to be catching up from where everyone else is at. So Cobalt have not got a season break, I don't think, until I think it's in between the Japanese and the United States Grand Prix. I think round 15 and 16, or Singapore and Japan. I need to get the old calendar out, really, shouldn't I? Because it says it all on the calendar, which Paul informed by me, because I should probably know that, shouldn't I? But let's go for the grid, shall we? I definitely know about the grid. Soft tires for ZGSN and Gina, Diashi and Sir Dave in the top 10. So remember that, because ZGS on soft tires, that potential give a better launch going down into turn 1. Serious versus said, turn 1, behave, long race. We can still race, have a VHS recorder then. I used to do that actually all the time. When way back before Sky Sports and all that kind of stuff, when F1 was on ITV, I did record every single race, and I used to watch them back like on Monday and stuff like that. Because back then we only ITV only ever showed like the qualifying the race. Then I used to love to watch the races back then. I was very nerdy. And I used to have Damon Hill's last race, the Japanese Grand Prix 99, on tape for so long, and then I got really upset one time because unfortunately someone recorded over it then, and I know who that was. It was my sister now. So there we go. If I ever speak nasty, if you ever hear me speaking nasty about her on the stream or anything like that, there is a reason. She recorded over Damon Hill's last race, and then I did like Damon Hill back in the day then, but of course I've always been a big old David fan. Flying on pole position then, ZGS alongside him on row 1. Starbust in third position. He is the closest to the championship leader. Hammer Thomas not racing tonight. Echo in fourth position. We've got Starbust off the circuit. Fifth position is Casal. Jinner in sixth then on soft tires. Paris is seventh with Diashi and Sir Dave. Eighth and ninth then Dukanko had a bit of an accident in turn 10. In quali 2, I should say that. Unfortunately, he was out of qualifiers. That means that he is 10th on the grid then. Smithy Almighty, soft tires 11th and Craig R 12th, soft tires then. Kaz crushed your T 13th and 14th, row 7 medium tires. Iron Knight in 15th with Baguette in 16th on medium tires. Brooksy going soft then. Watch out for Brooks then. Can he get some results? He's been disappointed this season. Styles 18th on medium tires. Liam D 19th on the hard tires. Scooby Stew in a different car tonight. He's 20th on the grid then. The Alpha Tauri's bookend at first and 20th, and they bookend the field then. J-Dog has just entered the chat in, even though there's my big letdown girl. Had some work bits to do, only just got home there for J-Dog, but thank you for joining the stream then, and I think that J-Dog will be very disappointed he won't be able to take part in the race, but of course work does take priority, doesn't it there, of course then. But we are a bit disappointed. Right then, when the lights have gone off then, and I'm just waiting for the reps to come on now then, and when are we going to get going then? So just waiting for it then, and not a lot is going on at the moment then, but this is, I gotta say, this is a very long wait, isn't it, at the moment now? And now we're go for the Italian Grand Prix, a week late, but I think we're go, and then Florian gets away very nicely indeed then. ZGS is alongside of us. I think ZGS on the pole inside, it's a terrible start for the Mercedes driver, but he's back up in his second position. Now Ferrari of Casal has gone right off there, and that is going to be a problem. I think he may get a penalty for that. He's got a 3-second penalty, which ain't too bad. Oh, but he's gone off in a big way. Casal, and he's out of the race then. He came back on the circuit, and I think, did he get a helping hand or what, but I'm not sure. But either way, he is out of the Grand Prix. Came back on the circuit. Did he just spin up the rear tires and then spin then? I'm not too sure on that one, but the Ferrari driver out of the race then, and the Tifosi fans then are going to be disappointed that not only did they have to wait a week for the race then for Cobo, but also the fact that one of their heroes, Casal, out of the Grand Prix before you even completed one lap here in Italy. So Ferrari the Tifosi is going to be disappointed that Echo's got 2 positions. He's up 2 positions. Echo is fantastic indeed there. Sir Dave up 3 with Dukanko at 3 as well. 7 positions for Brooksy. He is taking on fantastically well, along with Scooby Stew. Very good at start indeed there. Liam has also said good start there, good start Stu. Indeed then, he is up to a 13th position. Good stuff indeed there for the Alpha Tauri. The virtual safety cars out, they have to adhere to the Delta. The Delta, of course, on their screens there, also on their steering wheels as well, of course then. So that is what they got to That's what they're going to do. Florence left for set. Florence left for session now. Oh my goodness me, but he sent the fast up the right side. We're back racing now. And oh goodness gracious me, this is not good at all. No DRS just yet. Starburst is going for it. He's having a look then, but Echo closes the door, going down into turn 1 then. And Florence has lost the lead then. Oh, it's that contact between the two Aston Martins of Jitter and Starburst. And Starburst is the championship protagonist at the moment, isn't he? Jitter is not in this moment in time now. It's going to be Team 1. Jitter's on the softer tire now, is he there? I'm wondering if the Aston Martin drivers are going to let each other through that. I don't think so. Looking at turn 1 then. Florin, what a shame then, as he is drumming down the order because he is unfortunately he's out of the. Oh goodness me, lovely shot indeed there, as you can see there, as Diaz getting a bit nosy. Duke can't go in front of him then. What a shame now for Florin though. He is out of he's out of this session at the moment now, and because of that then that is just absolutely appalling luck indeed there. So ZJS is now second in front of Echo then, with Starburst in third position, Jenner in fourth position, Sir David took fifth position. Fantastic 17th there. Diaz there is still on the back of Ducan Corner, looking to your Scar chicane, and no dice in there just yet. This is a very fast flowing circuit, of course. This is going to be one of the fastest circuits on the. Dave is off the circuit. Oh, he's gone off in a major way, Sir Dave has there. And that is a major crash there for the Alpine driver, and he is going to be furious himself, and he was as high as fifth. He's doing a very bad attempt there of trying to get himself back on the circuit, and that's a very poor 3.2 in there for Sir Dave. Brooksy's got damage. Florence back in the Cessna. There's a safety car. Oh my goodness gracious me, that Brooksy's fantastic start is come to nothing, and he's in the pits, and Ducan goes in the pits as well, as both Alfa Romeos are going to have to queue here. And oh goodness me, I'm not sure on to Brooksy then. He was I'm not sure, did he have a spin the same place that Emerson did and Theo did last week there? Goodness me, it's all the Italian cars that are having issues there. Brooksy now is just coming out of the pits, and unfortunately he's had to change the nose cone. Also in the pits as well is Ducanco. Look at this, as the Alfa Romeo mechanics is just scrambling around the car, trying to get the nose cone, trying to get the tyres back on them before he can get back out then. Oh, this is a major blow for the Alfa Romeo team then. And talking of the and also same with the Alpine car as well of Sir Dave, he's back out on track now, down in 18th position there. ZGS is now left for session as well. This is not good at all, but luckily ZGS is having not all lost then for Florin now, as he is back in the session. So Dave comes out there. As we've had two cars that have unfortunately left the session, and it's been both the leaders there. I think the leaders at the moment is the Poison Chalice, isn't it? That the grown brother leaders here in Cobalt. So goodness me, and we've had a lot of pit stoppers there. Of course, Liam D started the race on the hard tires, which I forgot to mention at the start of the race then, which is absolutely shocking 17. So that is disappointing. We have also got Paris on the hard tires as well. Brooksy said Brooksy on the medium tires are straight into the pits. There comes Jinner, so that's a very early stop then for the Aston Martin team. Then is there damage there for the Aston Martin? Jinner, who is so good at qualifying the race, it does seem to fall apart slightly, and Jinner's in the pits, and this is a change of strategy now for Jinner, so nothing too bad to worry about then. Good stuff then, and he is now coming on the pits and into the pits. The Ash as well, following Jinner's strategy here on the medium tires as well for the Haas car, as Diash there coming out of the pits then. Now accelerating away there. ZJS is back in the session. Good stuff there. As Liam D now in the pits on the hard tyres. And I'm surprised that he's coming in the pits quite early, so I'm quite surprised he's in the pits. But maybe the hard tyres are just not biting for Liam D. Of course, Liam D was saying that he's not feeling too confident there. I'm hoping he's already gone there. Where is it? Oh, now he's gone then. So he's a very sluggish getting away there from Liam D. That may cost him positions to Craig R, to Kanko, unfortunately. And I think that's both Alpines there. And unfortunately then that might be and unfortunately both Alpine cars are going to be at the back of the field, unfortunately. So safety cars at the moment now with Bert Mylander. Oh my goodness me! And CGS is in the wall. He is out of the race then, and that is, he's done a Grosjean, and he is in the wall, and he's out of the Italian Grand Prix. CGS, who has seen this race, said he has never won a race, has he, in ALR before? And oh no, Jitter's gone as well. What's going on here? 5-second penalty. Page has had some issues there. Oh my goodness me. And what is going on here? Jitter, and he's off on right to the middle of the circuit there. CGS out, Jitter out as well. Two big names are out of this race already, and CGS is going to be furious with that. The Jitter in the middle part of the circuit, and that's going to delay the restart here in this Grand Prix. Oh my golly, gosh, I thought Craig R was going to go straight into the bat, and I grimaced there. Oh dear. And now it's now we're just on board with Echo then. So Echo is now the leader of the Italian Grand Prix. So goodness me, how it's completely changed already. Starbus now up in the second position. Iron Knight is up in the third. He was 15th on the grid. How has he got there? Fantastic. Scooby Stew. Well, my God, he was at the back of the field. He's now for the fifth. Magnificent stuff indeed then. All right, let me get on there. George Russell will be proud of that, Sarah Rush was saying then. I feel absolutely devastated for ZTS and Jinner because they were looking quite strong in this race. Yes, we only done 3 laps, haven't we? But goodness me. But they were looking quite strong, weren't they? But that is not gone at all. Ross G, go Craig then. Craig at the moment there is in... is in 14th position at the moment there, so that's a bit of a shame now for Craig. But this is the very early stages there, isn't it? There, and yes, I think that Troy then is as Troy was saying that Sir Dave took a very long time to get going there, didn't he? As it was a very poor 3-point turn there, wasn't there, from Sir Dave? I think that he possibly should have reset back to track potentially. Having said that though, I can't say much because I never reset back to track then, but because usually I just panic and try and get myself back on the circuit then. I would mention any name apart from a Haas driver. We've got Paige who's left the session. Hopefully she'll come back in as well. We've got a lot of drivers leaving the session now. Oh, sorry, I forgot to breathe. We've Paige there is who's in 8th position at the moment now. Hopefully she'll get back in the session pronto. But there is an issue there with, I'm not sure if it's an issue with Gina and Paige yet, of because we're just in race control saying it's a 5-second penalty for Paige for a collision with Gina. Whether that constitute, whether that was fair or not, I do not know. So of course I'm going to keep I'm going to not point the figure then, because that'll be very unfair like me. And of course it's not Ayrton either, because whenever, oh my goodness, Iron Knight is in the wall. What is going on into the safety car tonight? And that is Liam D's out of the race as well. What is occurring for these cars tonight? Liam D's off in the Escarch K. We have lost I think we lost about 4 drivers under the safety car. What's going on? Wow, my goodness me. And that is absolute incredible stuff indeed then. And wow, I don't know what to say then. It's the safety car is in then, so they can't delay the restart then. So when is Echo going to go? Echo is gone now. Florin there is right underneath the gearbox of Starbus. Starbus doesn't want to get too involved. So we have got some kind of shenanigans going on here. Then Iron Knight is left for session now. As good as me, there's cars all over the show then. So they're slipstreaming away then. Now we've got Crusher T and D Ashley has just disappeared. And where has he gone? She's just disappeared out of sight then, and up the inside goes Brooksy. Brooksy's up the inside. Crusher T is on the inside now of the second part of the first chicane before accelerating away then. And that's what's going on. I can't tell you, my good man. Liam D is saying that was a silly mistake then. Unfortunately, he crashed out at the Ascara chicane then for Liam D. What a shame then. And it's not gone too well at all. Smithy almost got past Paige. There's Paige unfortunately on the race at the moment. Starts up into a fantastic 5th position, but a good 17 that Jones after the session. We have lost. We're down to 15 runners and riders in this Grand Prix as we've had action under the safety car. but believe it or not, incredible 17. Look at the queue of cars behind Kaz, and here's Brooksy, and he is now alongside, and he passes Kaz, move up into 7th position there, 6th position I should say. And now we've got Paris on the outside of Crusher T. Wow, good manoeuvre there. And look, Smith, your boy T is on the outside of his teammate as well. Crusher T was watching Paris, and look, he's had an appalling run, and now cars all over him now. So Diashi is back in the session. He's down in 14th position. Diashi is Craig Arden is under the cosh, isn't he? Craig Arden said, but it's Dukanko who's making the move, and Crusher T, who's had a pretty difficult couple of corners there. He's dropped right down the order, hasn't he? Well, I think Florence just got past Styles, and Styles has now moved himself, and Florence moved himself with the 3rd position there. He is coming back out Starbus, and Echo leading the Grand Prix at the moment, but Starbus is not letting Echo go at the moment. It says they come down into turn 1, yellow flag in front of us. Florin is in trouble. Florin's off the circuit now, and Florin's come across her somewhere, and he's having to come back on the circuit. There's a Mercedes off as well at Craigar. Oh, Florin are almost spinning the car, and Sir Davis down in the 11th position there. Craigar also having this one. Diaz is on the outside, and Paige there. Hopefully she'll come back in the session at the moment, because I think it's a good opportunity like for Paige to get her first points at ALR with all the shenanigans going on at the moment. Goodness gracious me, absolutely incredible stuff. Crusher T dropping down the order as well, and it's Crusher T seems to be getting hung out to dry at the moment, isn't he? As Paige has returned to action then in the Red Bull. Unfortunately, she's lost out quite heavily, but there's a long way to go in this race, and there Kaz has now dropped down to 7th position, and now we've got Swisher Almighty also. Crusher T! Oh no, he's out of the pole in a couple of corners, and now he's out of the race, and safety car! We are on no safety cars at all in the last 2 races, and now all of a sudden we got safety car galore here in Alr Italy. My goodness gracious me. Diashi's asked if he can join back. Yes, you can, my good sir. But firstly, Sir First has already answered him. And secondly, that was probably about 20 minutes ago. So when is Zach going to come in the pits then with safety car coming out? He is indeed in the pits. And the race leader comes in the pits. You have to watch the speed limiter here in Italy. And everyone is in the pits. Apart from Scooby Stew, who has done his best impression from last to first. And he's done it in 8 laps. Completed it, mate. Fantastic stuff indeed there from Scooby Stew. Brooksy is up into 2nd position as well. Brooksy is only done 4 laps, and so this is really going to jumble up the order, isn't it? Cobalt trying to do their best impression of Bronson from a week ago. Goodness me, yeah, they are indeed. Then Italy and bronze, there was absolutely catastrophic, wasn't it? Tonight, I'm not even sure what's going on under the safety car. We've lost 4 cars under the safety car tonight. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Then J-Dog, no, as Gurman said that Liam was going to get some coffee for Gurman. Of course, Liam had a very quiet night last night, didn't he? But unfortunately, I don't think Gurman's going to have a quiet night. Unfortunately, Gurman didn't have a quiet night last week either, did he? As with all the shenanigans going on there. But I think that it was a good call, wasn't it, really, to have the race suspended or stopped then and delayed it to a week later, which is the beauty about Esports, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Then Liam was saying, let's not talk about the bronze from Italy last week, but we should talk about bronze from last night, should we? There. I'm in a different time zone, and so I've completely forgotten about Russia. But great races, wasn't it, up and down the field there? I think I think we had 5 safety cars or 4 safety cars in gold. We've had no safety cars in silver or bronze. So really good stuff indeed. There, fantastic stuff, absolutely amazing stuff indeed. That. And it just now on board then is Paige didn't serve the penalty under the safety. Don't serve the penalty under the safety car. Serious Russian was saying that, and just now on board with Scooby Stew then. So Scooby Stew leading the Grand Prix at the moment then. So how is he going to tackle this? Well, I think he's going to be asked to be putting that Alpha Tauri then for the remainder of the season. Well, no, he's having an absolutely great day here in Monza here for the Alpha Tauri. Lovely stuff indeed. That the other Alpha Tauri are flying out down in 30th position. Alpha Tauri leading the constructors, but they don't have any of their full-time drivers in the cars tonight. Remember, Scooby Stew is driving for McLaren technically. He's just decided to drive for the Alpha Tauri tonight. And good stuff indeed there. 6 cars remain now at the moment. So who came to pit set under this current safety car? Kaz on the soft tires there. Florin, Styles, Starburst, Echo has all gone onto those hard tires then, and they're trying to go to the end of the race now. Baguette, who is not served that penalty yet, she's down in 9th position. And Craig R is up into 8th fed. Diashi in 7th position. Sir Dave in 6th fed. Dukaiko 5th with Smith from Marty 4th. Paris in 3rd. Brooks in 2nd. And Scooby Stew leads. Christopher T is asking, is it me or does the cars feel weird then? Weird then. I must say actually that's a very good point, because we've had a lot of drivers crashing out under the safety car. I'm wondering if, of course, we do have a new is it a new handling model of some kind? There's me trying to sound cool and stuff and know exactly what I'm talking about with Formula 1 and their patch updates, but I have absolutely no idea. I think we need our patch king Dan Murphy here, don't we? He seems to be on top of the old patch notes, doesn't he? But I don't really know much about the car handling model. Also because I haven't actually raced that from car in such a long time now, because I've been playing a bit of Formula 2. Good stuff indeed then. Really enjoying Formula 2. Anyway, enough about that. We don't want to hear anything about my Formula 2 season, mainly because I usually crash it. But enough about that as well. Anyway, I tried to come up with one Troy said, I'm not saying stupid screw names, I am cursed, said as well. So yes, good. We're going to stay a while away from that one, I think. Then of course, because I do not want to predict anyone either. Bernd Mylander, who is coming into the pits, then so good stuff indeed. Bernd Mylander, he's had enough. Hopefully he won't use as nearly enough fuel as he did last week in a bronze set. Diashi Liam is saying that don't crash, Diashi. No, don't crash. And that is the best advice you can give me, and I think that's the best advice you can give anyone in this race. So I think it might be, if you finish this race, you're going to get a humongous amount of points there. And with Cobalt very finely poised in the championship, up and down the order, this could be a great day indeed then. So Scuba Stew, how is he going to play this safety car restart? And he hasn't done many, has he, in his Alr career? I think this is the first one he's ever done. Back racer now. Well, he's at no games there for Scuba Stew. He's back up and running straight for the get-go. And he's called Brooksy slightly unaware. And because of that, then I think that Brooksy is now under the cosh here from the hard shot. Oh, he's having a look there going into turn one. And there is clearance on the inside there. And he was a bit too far back then. Dukanka's gone wide down. Sir David 6th position. Diashi 7th fed. Starbus in 8th fed. Craig in 9th fed. Echo in 10th finish there. We've got a ghostly Page there. I'm hoping that the Page is in the session there, as we got Stars that dropped down the order as well. I think the Page has got red X, and that's not good then. And look at this, and Scooby Stew's going for the, Brooks is going for the lead, there's contact, and Scooby Stew's had to scamper across the Delaware chicane, and he still leads the race, and Scooby Stew does that. I'm not really sure how bona fide that is. Oh, but he's gone wide down. I think Scooby Stew might have let Brooksy pass there. Brooksy is now away then. I was going to say, I'm not sure how bona fide that defence was there from Scuba Stew, but goodness gracious me then, as I'm now coming down the hill, and look at this as they're flying past each other as well. I think Baguette is not in this race at the moment now. I hope I'm wrong. Oh my goodness me, and that's a day later dollar showdown from Smith Almighty, and he is spun off the circuit, and Sir David Diassi have also come across as well. My golly gosh there. Oh my god, good. Oh god, I thought he was going to go into the wall there. Oh my word there. And now coming down into the McKay Alboreto turn, and Scooby Stew in second position. Incredible stuff indeed that we got Brooksy leading the race now. Fantastic stuff there for Brooksy. We haven't seen the best of Brooksy in Cobalt this season, have we? And of course, I do want to see the best of Brooksy because he's a fine racing driver indeed, isn't he? I've been very, I think he's been very disappointed himself, but I've certainly been disappointed that we haven't seen the best of Brooksy, because I'd love to see Brooksy against Hammer Time in the championship. I'd love to see Brooksy against Starbust, and of course Brooksy against J-Dog as well. I want to see him against the top three in the championship. I want to see Brooksy up there. That is exactly what I want to see, and I think I'll get my wish here tonight, because he's also against Paris as well, but Paris is on harder tyres at the moment. Sir Dave in the pits, and he's not on the medium tyres, unfortunately for Sir Dave. And then come down to the Delia Rogers chicane as well. Diashi dropping down to 9th position. Styles up in the 10th. Of course, Styles would love to get some more points on the board then for himself and the Red Bull team. Then he's 4 points behind his teammates at the moment of winning in the championship, and that's a very dirty AlphaTauri there. So I think they're going to have to give it a good old wipe at the end of this, wouldn't they? As Zach Brown wants a word, then Liam is saying that Sir say it's all kicking off now, and Troy said, Sir Dave, you need to behave then as well. As we're going into as we're now going into the Ascari chicane. Dukanka's all over the back of the Scooby Stew, and in here is Scooby Stew. Is he going to defend then? I think Dukanka will have DRS down the back straight. Is he going to wait for the DRS then? He can't really wait too much, so can he? Because look who's in the background on the prow. It's Starbust and the Aston Martin. So Dukanka's got to get this one done quite quickly here. Oh my goodness me, that's too quick. He is out of the race, and Dukanka is there. And oh my goodness me, it's a safety car here. And there's action galore in this race. And my golly gosh, a 5-second penalty for Diashi for speed in the pit lane. And Smithy Almighty as well. What is going on here? And as Dr. Marco says, no, from Serious Rush was into the pit seconds the Haas car. He's not going to serve that 5-second penalty just yet. And also in the pits there, Smithy Almighty. Page is also in the pits as well. They're throwing on the soft tyres now. Page is until the end of the Grand Prix in the Red Bull. We're down to 13 runners and riders in this one. My goodness gracious me, then it's been absolute anarchy, hasn't it, in this one? Oh gosh, and now accelerating back onto the circuit there. So only 13 cars remain. Now we haven't even reached half distance yet, have we? My goodness me, then Italy does seem to throw up a lot of really good races, don't they, here in ALR? My goodness me, we're having another doozy here tonight there. Brooksy leads the Grand Prix, so Brooksy might be a bit disappointed with this because he was scampering away. He's almost got a 5-second lead over Paris in second, with Scooby Stew in third, Starbusters in fourth position, Echo in fifth, Craig R is sixth, and Florin is seventh, and Styles in eighth position, Diashi in ninth, but he has a 5-second penalty along with Smithy Almighty. I wonder if they're going to take that penalty in this safety car period, or if they're going to try right out their luck then, and maybe put in the pits next time around then. What is Brooksy going to do then? Is it slightly too early to throw on the soft tyres to the end of the race then? It's a mighty long way to go, isn't it? They're going to have to very much tippy-toe. What is Brooksy doing then? He is in the pits then, so Brooksy coming in the pits at 80 kilometers an hour. You have to slow down to. Paris is staying out. Of course, he is on those hard tyres, isn't he? Everyone, we've got a Williams car car of Echo coming in the pits as well. I think Echo would want to be going on to the medium tires in the race. What is waiting there? It's medium tires again for Brooksy. So Brooksy, I think, is no, because he's on the soft tires, wasn't he, to begin with? And so Brooksy, that is perfect for Brooksy. Actually, I thought he started on the medium tires. So shocking performance there. So Brooksy, that's absolutely perfect. 7D. Then Echo also on the medium tires as well, along with Craig Arden. So anyone who wants to have fresh medium tires, now is the time to do it. Then so the top 5 have not stopped this time around. Then the drivers that have stopped then and gone fresh mediums is now Brooksy, Echo, Craigar and Smithy Almighty. There he is in the background there. Diashi is coming in to serve that 5-second penalty. He's on the hard tyres there, and this is a good strategical call from Diashi there, because I'm wondering if he changed his tyres when he's coming in the pits. Told the Haas team to go into the hard, because he'll go come back in, serve that 5-second penalty, go on the medium tyre. So virtually it is not a penalty at all, is it? What is Scooby Stew's highest finishing position? Short of Liam. 5th or 6th in Singapore. Oh, nice. Then I think that I'm not sure what race it is, but let me get out my old spreadsheet, shall we? It was 6th position now. I'm not sure what race it was, but it says 6 here at the best race resort. Of course, good stuff indeed there for Scooby Stew. But tonight he is 2nd at the moment. Now doing a great job indeed. He started 20th on the grid as well. Scooby Stew did. Paige Forget now out of the pits as well. She is in 30th position now. Paige Forget, and a golden opportunity to get some good points in the Red Bull team. She just needs to keep going in this one. I think this is a race of attrition. Well, it is a race of attrition because we've lost 7 cars already at this one. That's not really going to be earth-shattering news for anyone. But if she just keeps going, I think she's going to get points here tonight, because there's going to be action galore once again. No soft tyre in sight now. Everyone's on the medium tyres, all the hard tyres. The top 5 did not come in the pits this time around. So it is Paris on 10 lap old hard tyres, 12 lap old tyres for Scooby Stew. He is he's trying to go later on in the race then and go on the soft tyres. I think now. But no, he isn't. He's coming into the pit. Scooby Stew. Well, look at that. Look at the speed limiter there. Doing a good job there. The AlphaTauri is. And I'm wondering what tyre is going to go. Is it going to go on the hard tyres or is it going to go on the soft tyres? And you have to use 2 types of compounds of tyres to satisfy the rules. He is on the softs. Look at that then, it goes against me. It's not only fast out on the circuit, it's also fast in the pit lane as well. It's Formula 1 racing everywhere you go. Pit stops, racing out on circuit there. Everything is a race, and it's a development race, it's a pit stop race, it's a race, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. It's also a race against the clock. That's what we love about Formula 1, don't we? As Scooby Stew comes out the pits on soft tyres. He's in the gaggle of cars now. He's in the pack, but he does. But of course, so he doesn't have to stop again technically. But we'll see how this one goes then. Paige went medium soft, then at medium under safety car. Smart stuff indeed there for Paige. Indeed it is then. Yeah, so very smart strategical goals, not only for Diashi but for Paige as well. Scooby Stew waited a lap, then he came in the pits and he's lost track position. Is track position key around here? I'm not too sure, and it's called the Temple of Speed, isn't there? And there is a good run down turn 1. It's not I wouldn't say it's the easiest overtake, is it, around here, but it certainly encourages the drivers, doesn't it there? But it's very but I gotta say, there's a lot of pinch points around here as well, as we're on board now. As Diashi is not very happy with Sir Dave's driving at the moment. I'm not sure if that was under the safety car or if that was into the Ascara chicane here a few laps ago then. But both are now once again on the similar part of the track in 10th and 11th position there. So it's going to get very nervy then. As Craigar is out of the race. That's another car. That's another car out of the race, and it looks like he's just retired on circuit. So Craigar is he's just retired by the looks of things. So that's not really. I'm not sure what's going on there. Unfortunately for Craigar. So maybe something's majorly gone wrong there for Craigar, and unfortunately he's out of the Grand Prix. Safety car is in. Paris has not let the safety car gap at all, has he? Because he just wants to get on with this now. We're down to 12 cars in this race. We're back racing now, and here we go then. So it's a safety car. The safety car restarts. So Ronan starting, and that McLaren is alongside Echo, and it's going to be a drag race down into turn 1. Then we've also got Brooksy trying to overtake Styles into turn 1. Then Brooks is alongside Styles, and track position there. And we have got Paige a 3-second penalty. That's going to happen as well. Styles there just pushing his luck there on Echo. And it's going to be a sandwich there. That's going to look good. Well, is it? Oh my goodness me, very close indeed then. And just now watching as we got Sir Dave all over the back of Styles as well, as we are going through Curva Grande as well. And looking up there, all filtering through here and coming into the Daly Rogers chicane there. And the McLaren going a bit wide. Then he's going to really really hurt his momentum there. Stahl's not close enough, unfortunately. Florin is now back into third position, and we're on board with Florin. He is pushing hard in the AlphaTauri car, but Brooksy's damage. There's damage on the car of someone there, and I am sure it's and Craig R is in possession. I am sure that there's damage on Brooksy's car. Is there? Let's take it. No, listen. Am I talking absolute baloney here? I think I am. I'm sure it's a debris come off of someone's car. Maybe I'm just seeing things there. But luckily, I think Brooksy's okay. I'm glad he's okay because we want to see him in this one. Of course, Starburst though is on those hard tires, but so is Florin as well. Florin is quick at the moment, but Starburst there going. Oh, contact there, and that has allowed Brooksy to go up and under there, taking both cars there. Very good stuff there for Brooksy, and he is through. And it's Starburst is in the pits, so Starburst is in the pits there, and I'm not sure if would the debris come off Starburst there, but he's in the pits there. That's unusual to come in the pits there, a lap after the safety car, and look at this head as Florin is trying to defend from Echo. Echo's on the outside and he's almost on the grass there, a bit of tapping the old rear end then of Florin there, but he's still carrying on then. Oh goodness gracious me, then accelerating away. Accelerating away now. Echo is coming through Curb Grande now. Diashi is all over the back of Sir Dave there, and I'm not really sure what to watch. Oh, contact there, and Diashi is in the wall, and a huge smash indeed there for Diashi there, coming from Curb Grande, and I think that's the second time they've come to blows tonight. Oh dear, that's not looking too good at all, is it there? On board now with Echo, who's in fourth position there, and he's in fourth position there. Florin in third at the moment. Brooksy in second, and Paris is currently leading this race. Scooby Stew is now 3 tenths of a second back from Kaz, and Kaz is trying to defend then, but I don't think that Kaz might know that his number is up here. It might be up at the moment for Kaz. He's on the medium tires there. He might lose this one out, but he might lose out on this one there, but we'll soon. Of course, it's a long race this one is, isn't it? So Kaz might swing back into his favour then. Paris has a 3-second penalty, but he's 9 tenths of a second in front of Brooksy in second there. Brooksy's on fresh medium tires there. Page and Kaz are going locking horns there into the Katie Alboreto curve there. Brooksy has set the fast out of the race. Page is in 9th position now in the Red Bull, and she is now on the ascendancy. Good stuff indeed there for Page there. Paris leads. Brooksy has now got the gap down to 7 tenths of a second there, and then the acceleration rate coming through Curb Grande once again. And we've got 10 laps to go in the Italian Grand Prix. Diashi in the pits after having another scuffle with Sir Dave. Unfortunately, it seems those two have got a magnet between each other, which is a bit of a shame. Brooksy, the gap is down to 6 tenths of a second because Brooksy has a Grand Prix win. He won in the Austrian Grand Prix. Brooksy did. So he'll love to get back on the podium again. I can't believe he's only got one win this season, Brooksy has, but he's had a lot of bad luck, hasn't he? So we'll soon find out what. But we'll see what he can do then. He should get to the end on those medium tires there for Brooksy, of course. Paris, I think, should get to the end on those hard tires as well, of course, because he did change up tyre strategy. Echo having a look there into the Ascari chicane, but no dice at the moment there, as the gaps are now starting to fluctuate up and down, but they are really fluctuating down between Brooksy and Paris, and here he comes there, and he's alongside. Is he going to go for it into the Alboreto curve? But not quite then, as Paris just about keeps him in front there, but Brooksy there just needs to stay on the end of that Williams car, and is it going to be an easy overtake here then? We'll find out then as well. And going across the line. So look at this now. Brooksy is taking the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and Paris is down to second. Then Echo has got past Florin as well, and Echo is up in third position in the Williams car. Good stuff indeed. Sir Dave is having a look then, and that is a dollar short there for Sir Dave, unfortunately. And he is oh no, Styles is in the wall. Styles is in the wall here, and oh goodness me, Starburst has set the fast out of the race there as Styles is trying to recover. That is a big blow for the Red Bull driver, and he is now recovering then. So Scooby Stew is in a 7th position now. He's on those soft tires then. He's on those soft tires now in the AlphaTauri. They're really doing a good job. Scooby Stew is still finished his best race so far in his ALR career. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. Really good stuff then, Scooby Stew. I'm absolutely loving the performance tonight for the man who is 20th on the grid. He is now with a 7th for the AlphaTauri. Lovely. His next target is Sir Dave, and Sir Dave is on those medium tires. I'm not sure if he had damage there when him and Styles unfortunately had a bit of a coming together there going into turn 1. Unfortunately, here is Scooby Stew. He's lost a bit of momentum now. Diashi is back in the pits. So it looks like the Haas team now got the wrong tyres for Diashi there. So Haas is not really helping themselves with any driver at the moment, are they? Unfortunately, look at Page now in 8th position there. I was saying about Scooby Stew on one of the best races of yellow flag, and one that is unfortunately Styles will come back to the pits. And he's going to be disappointed with that, isn't he? Styles is after a brilliant race so far. I was saying that Scooby Stew is one of his best races of his career. Same with Page as well. It's great stuff to see, isn't it? Now look at this, as Page is on the ascendancy. She's very quick on these old straights there. Look, she's passed Scooby Stew, and having a 7th position there. She's got the bit between her teeth now, hasn't she? And away she goes then, and accelerates away quite nice indeed. Scooby Stew, who's now then on the who is now then right behind who's now right behind Page. There's no DRS there through Kerber Grande, is there? So so I don't think Scooby Stew's might have to do the old-fashioned way if he's got to have a go down to Kerber Grande. Unfortunately, he's too far back. Brooks is out of the DRS range then from Paris. I think will be trying to get to the end of the hard tires. But there you have Echo and Florin, who will be following him in the background there. Smith Almighty in 5th position doing a great job then. Into the pits comes Styles. Styles potentially does have a chance for a point still, but I think he may need a safety car or something to happen then for the top 10 drivers at the moment there. I must say, that's a very good race indeed there. There's a lot of really good, outstanding performances out there. And Florin and Echo are 2 of the drivers that are doing superb jobs as well. Just watching the Alpha Tauri driver then out of the parabolic, and then recently renamed the Michele Alboreto curve. Then really good stuff indeed then. Wasn't it there? Of course, the legendary Ferrari driver from the late 80s. And I think his last season, wasn't it in 1993 or something like that, or 92? I'm not too sure. I should really know more about Michele Alboreto, shouldn't I? And that is absolutely shameful behaviour indeed. I'll keep you up to date on that one later on. Then, as we're going down into turn 1, then Page is taken at 5th, 6th position away from Sir Dave. Sir Dave dropped down to 7th. Page is very much on the ascendancy now. She's up in 6th position. Page's fantastic performance indeed. Her next target is Smithy Almighty. My goodness me, then fantastic stuff indeed there for Page. Really well done. On board with Florin, and she said she didn't like the circle either then, so goodness me, I'm never going to believe Page again. We're on board then with Florin now, and he is 4/10 of a second away from Echo at the moment. They're in a bit of a DRS train at the moment, aren't they? So who is going to be able to break this DRS train then? 2 Williamses are now 2nd and 3rd. It's going to help him absolutely tremendously in the Constructors' Championship. Alpha Tauri don't need any more help then, but they are both 4th and 8th position at the moment. Florin would like to get on the podium as well on the harder shot Alpha Tauri. Look at Echo, he is very much harvested. Echo is on the medium tires here. He would like to be scampering away into the distance there on those softer tires compared to the 2 drivers around him, but he just can't at the moment, can he? Because I think Paris has got a very slippery car, hasn't he? So I think that Echo may have some issues there. Having said that, there, look at this. So Echo is really gaining on the second part of the straight now as they come down into turn 1 there, and the Williams drivers then go, and he's gone for it up the inside. Paris jumping down into 3rd position there. Where's Florin? He can't follow Echo through. So Florin there is going to have to wait his turn then, or try and strike in a position that's maybe a bit unusual for an overtake. On board once again then with Florin going down into the Jelly Rogers chicane as well, as Paris are having a look at Echo there. When drivers go out and then come back there, sometimes even with the proximity hours, drivers may be looking into the curve, maybe looking into the corner, and sometimes driving the driver through. I think we've seen that a couple of times, didn't we, over the course. I think it was Russia, wasn't it, where we've seen 1 or 2 instances like that potentially. We've also seen that quite a lot in Formula as well. I think Lewis Hamilton did it on Kamui Kobayashi at the top of Lake Com in 2000. And Sir Dave's off the circuit there. The first Lesbian there, Sir Dave's got damage as well, and that is not good then. So he is going to have to quickly get around there, because Styles is not too far away at the moment there. So Sir Dave is having to recover that. Look at this battle here then. This is the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th then here in Italy. Paris has dropped down to 4th now, and he's struggling on those 18 lap hold hard tires, and the hard tires that come to the end of their life, but he is really struggling, isn't he? Echo, who is trying to break the slipstream, but I don't think he can, because Florin is coming at him there at quite a rate of knots out of the inside, and Florin is he's locked up the inside tyre there, and Echo's seen that, didn't he? We saw a flash of Brooksy a minute ago, but Brooksy there is about 3 seconds in front of him, and he's quite enjoying himself here in Italy, and it'll be probably he can't relax though, because there's only 3 seconds in front there. Anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, it usually does, doesn't it? Echo there, who's just a bit too far back. Sir Dave has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the the pit lane tonight. Oh dear, oh dear. So Sir Dave is going to be kicking himself, and that may cost him that final point scoring position then, unfortunately. Florino, who can he... Oh, he's very skittish there on the old rear, Florin is there. Really strong at the moment there. Those hard tyres there, they're only done 13 laps then, but it might not be about durability. It might be about drivability for the hard tyres now. Paris, who's done 19 laps on those hard tyres, and is starting to is really fading away at this stage. Please, I say fading away. He's still 6 seconds taken away, isn't he? So he's not. I wouldn't say he's fading away too much. And Stiles is very close to the back of Sir Dave, and I think that it's going to be very tight indeed. And Starbus has just got past Kaz. Remember, Kaz on the hard tyres, of course. So. Paris on the hard, Kaz on the medium tyre set, so remember that this race might come back at Kaz later on there, but he's doing a good job for Ferrari tonight. They're really flying the flag for the Scuderia team. Lovely stuff indeed that, as Stars and Sir David are going to be locking the horns once again then. Echo then is 4 tenths second back. He is gaining. He's in the slipstream. He's got DRS and he's going for a lunge. He's having a look, not quite there, as Florin was a bit too far in front on this time around, so he's going to have to stick with him, but I think that Florin does have a quick car underneath and does in the AlphaTauri. Gloria is struggling now on board with Echo going into Deli Roger chicane then, but a bit too far back once again then. Let's take stock. We're on that lap 23 out of 27. Brooksy leads the Grand Prix by 4 seconds now. Starbus has just got past Scooby Doo, who's really struggling, isn't he? And I think that's what Serious Russian was saying, because Scooby Doo has really dropped off the pace after 8 laps on these soft tyres. So it's not going too well now for Scooby Doo. Probably because Serious Russian said he was doing a good job there. I'm going to blame Serious Russian because I don't think I was saying he was having a good race. It's not like I said earlier on the race there where I said that Scooby Doo was having the best race of his career, but because I would never say that, would I? Brooksy leads. Second position is Florin. Third is Echo. Fourth is Paris at the moment. Paris does have a 5-second penalty, I think. No, 3-second penalty. Smithfield might have a 5-second penalty, and Baguette is behind, but he's a bit too far back at the moment. Sir Davis off the circuit then, and we've got Stiles back into the points then, so Stiles going to be happy with that then. And of course, Sir Davis had a 5-second penalty anyway, didn't he? So at the time that they was on track, if I get my words out, at the time that they were on track, I think that Sir Davis would have had to pull out a 5-second gap there. However, Stiles has got the job done. Coming into the first chicane as well. And Florina still trying to repel the attack then from Echo. I think his tyres, I think, are still quicker marginally than the hard tyres at the moment. Of course, he's on the medium tyres. Echo is there into the Deli Roger chicane. I never said anything Jeepers there. Mr. saying good stuff indeed. That Echo coming out of the Deli Roger chicane. Of course, he's denied it now. But of course, I remember saying this. Of course, would I make stuff up like that? Yes, I probably would. Into the second Lesmo for Echo. They're really attacking that second Lesmo. I love that. That's fantastic quartering indeed there. On in race trip, a lot of drivers there really cannot race 100% of the time. Surely they can't then, because well, they probably used to when there was refueling days, but of course in the race trip now you can't race 100% of the time then, because like it is a qualifying lap every time, because you will make a mistake, won't you? But I think Echo was really putting on the spurt on this lap, but unfortunately he's had a bit of a nightmare, a bit of a horror show in the Ascari chicane and has lost a lot of time then. Look in the background, it's Smithy Almighty. I've been keeping an eye on that time for the last 30 seconds, and at that time is starting to come down slightly then. There's 3.2 seconds now between these battling 3 cars. Can Smithy Almighty get on the podium here? He does have a 5-second penalty, Smithy Almighty does, but anything untoward happens then, he might be able to strike whilst the iron's hot then into the first chicane once again, and Brooks is still leading by 4.2 seconds, and he's on the medium tyres of course, and that should get to the end quite comfortably indeed, along with Echo as well. Florin there is on 16 lap hard tyres then. Paris done a great job on those hard tyres there. He has done 22 laps now, which is pretty impressive indeed then. Unfortunately, Scooby Stew is now going to be getting a sinking feeling, because he's now got a Scarlet Ferrari in his wing mirrors, and that is Kaz at the moment. So Kaz there, who's this is a good day for Kaz, isn't there? He's going to be very happy with that. On Ferrari's home turf, he is flying the flag very nice indeed for the Scuderia, and this has been a very good day indeed. Unfortunately, Casals had a pretty difficult day. He only lasted 2 corners, didn't he? I don't think he made the first corner actually, because I think he skated off. Unfortunately, luckily he only got a 3-second penalty for that. And so, because usually when you make a mistake in the first chicane there and you go off there, it's either a 5 or 10-second penalty. So Casal did a good job there. I'm not sure what happened with Casal, if he had contact to come back on the circle wall, but he did crash quite heavily, didn't he? Which really ended his day before it even started, which is a big shame indeed. That Paris is now closer to Echo than what Echo is to Florin on lap 26 out of 27 here in Italy. Then, of course, the Cobalters did stay behind here in Italy, did they, for the extra week after the shenanigans that happened in Italy last week with the servers and all that kind of jazz. So they've stayed behind then for the Italian Grand Prix. We've rerun the Italian Grand Prix tonight. It's been an absolutely marvellous spectacle, hasn't it, indeed? That and some really good battles indeed. But of course, remember next week there is no racing in ALR for gold, silver, or bronze, and they have all got their weeks off then. So I hope they behave themselves and getting ready for the what's after it's Singapore, isn't it? It's Singapore after Russia, isn't it? So they'll be back in Singapore in about 2 weeks' time. Then Cobalt will be in Russia next week then to race in Russia. And then it will be back up with the rest of the calendar as well. That is what's occurring on the calendar for this week and next week, of course. And so yes, we've all got a season break as well. A week break, of course. It's the United States Grand Prix. I can't believe it's on at 10 o'clock, isn't it? 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Goodness me, I'm usually tucked up in bed at that time. My goodness me. Well, so as soon as I said that Swift and Mighty was catching on Paris, he's dropped back, and now Paris is now very much giving pressure to Echo. Page is now under the caution as well from Starbust, but the Page's done a great job today. I think that absolutely superb stuff indeed. Paris is up in the third position. Florin has done a cracking job indeed. This is best result in ALR as well. Brooksy might be the driver of the day though, wouldn't he? Because he's had a superb Grand Prix today. Really well done indeed. Coming across the grid hatch as well is Starbust, and today was not the day to maximise, was it, for his challenge on that Hammer Time, unfortunately. So he's only going to put a dent into Hammer Time's championship lead, and he's not really going to break it, is he, unfortunately? So Starbust there might be a bit disappointed that this was a golden opportunity then for Starbust there to really put Hammer Time under pressure, but that is not the case, is it? He's on the outside there into Kerber Grande of Page. Page is going to, I think she's going to fight all the way. Goodness me, contact there almost there going into the Rogers chicane. Now Page is defending as hard as she can there. Oh, but she's had a pretty poor run there, and Starburst almost into the back of the Red Bull. A very poor run there out of the exit of the Rogers chicane, and Starburst over to sixth position there. And there is another 2 points then in the bank then for Starburst there. That could be crucial later on in this championship then. So do not go anywhere, folks. And the championship is not done and dusted by any stretch of imagination. And here is Brooksy then. This is only going to be his second Grand Prix win this season for Brooksy, but he exits the final corner, and Brooksy wins the Italian Grand Prix, and that was a very impressive performance to say the least. Starbust has got a 3-second penalty, and that's going to drop him down the order. Paris is second today, and another podium then for Paris. Is really putting a spurt on it late on in the second part, in the middle part of this championship. Echo in third and then Swift and Mighty fourth with Florin down in fifth. Starburst is not Starburst. I think Paige is going to finish in seventh position. Oh no, no, she's not. She's going to finish seventh in the end then. I don't think she is actually, because I think that I don't think she had any penalties. So I'm wondering if when she lagged out, then I think she had a bit of a desync then. So I think Paige is sixth tonight actually then. So ignore those classification times then. Gone and said it. Paige driver of the week for me, and Scooby is my new oh my goodness, keep it PG search person now. So Scooby Stew that is Sir Mushroom's is Serious Mushroom's new favourite driver. But Brooksy is going to be on top of the world tonight, isn't he? That's good stuff indeed. Only a second Grand Prix win this season there. And I would never count Brooksy out of the championship promotion spot, or even the championship in South Fed, because he is such a quick customer indeed then. I think that Echo has asked if Florin had penalties. I don't think he had penalties either, to be fair. I think that I'm wondering if Florin, same with Paige, who desunk from the race there, and I think they were actually might be a bona fide second today. But look at Brooksy celebrating hard, then driver of the day as well for Brooksy, and that was the best of that was the best from Brooksy today. Just Russian, I apologise. Thank you very much, Sir Russian. A serious mushroom. Oh goodness me, I've had a very long day. Excuse me. Then I'm going to lie down now, as there's been too much action then here in ALR. Mainly because the fact is we're in two completely different countries this week, isn't it? And it's just completely thrown me off my game now. Shocking performance indeed, isn't it? Not a shocking performance there from Brooksy though. So he came from 17th on the grid to win that race. There was a really impressive performance indeed. There. Second today, I'm sure it's Florin with Paris in third position. Echo in fourth with Smithy in fifth. Sixth position, I think, is Page with Starbust in seventh. Kaz is in eighth position. Ninth position is Scooby Stew. And 10th position, I think, is Styles. And Styles, good drive indeed then. Sir Dave in 11th position. 12th position was D. Ashley. Retirements was Craigar, Dukanko, Crusher T, Iron Knight, Liam D, Jinner, ZGS, and Casal, unfortunately, all retired then from this Italian Grand Prix then. J-Dog saying, well done to Brooksy then. Kakarot Goku saying to Sir Dave, unfortunately, from a long way back, tried to overtake him and a bit of a dive on. Then Page saying that was the worst race with the best result. I think I'm still all alone in the commentary box. I am indeed, and so I'm just waiting for the arrival of some of the drivers. And they might want to have a chin wag with me as well. Well, before we do get the drivers, and just a quick update. And next week, of course, we are not in action in LR, apart from in Cobalt, where we are, where of course we are having the Russian Grand Prix. We are a week's behind then. And Brooksy has joined me in the commentary box. Then Brooksy, you're back on top of the world then, and that was an absolutely superb Grand Prix performance by yourself. Absolute domination.
Cheers, mate. It's about time I had a win.
I was saying in commentary, it was from the Austrian Grand Prix, but my golly gosh, then you came from 17th on the grid there, and it was I think at the early stages, then you was coming through the field quite rapidly as well. How difficult was the opening couple of laps in this race today?
Turn one was the trickiest. You had to brake and then stop and then brake and keep going. It wasn't that hard, to be fair. It's just I was patient with the moves, so I didn't do stupid moves.
And
so I got through the field quite quick.
And then, of course, said as well, safety cars came out. When the safety car came out as well, what was your mindset then coming with the safety cars? How did you choose your tire strategy today?
I had to pit early on because my teammate spun and I hit him, so I had to go on to mediums again. When the second safety car came out, I thought softs would have done it, but I thought I'd go on fresh mediums instead to go towards the end. And it paid off.
It did indeed, and then of course once the second safety car came in, then you were just picking your moments, and then when you took the lead, then was you confident that was it? Then you was going to be controlling the race from here on in.
I'd had to be careful. I know the people behind me were quick, but it's just those curbs this season. It's very scary.
It is, especially a turn 4. Goodness me, it launched you in the air. This is as I said, this is your first win since Austria. It's an absolutely dominating performance as well. I was saying in the commentary that I'm never going to count you out the championship, maybe the championship chase or even promotion as well. With such a difficult season so far, and you've just been so unlucky. If the luck comes your way, then do you think promotion is still on offer for you, or is it the championship? Am I thinking too low?
Championship, I don't think. Hammer Time and the other people have got that on lockdown. Promotion, maybe. It just depends if I can find the form. If I can find the form, then I may get there.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done today, Brooksy. Dominating performance, and I think that's the only. I think that Brooksy's the only one who wants to talk to me today, which I don't blame him at all. Right then, that's it then for ALR this week. Remember, no races next week, apart from Cobalt, where we're going to Russia. So there is no races Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. There is a race on Wednesday. Keep an eye on the old social media and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, we'll be in the right place this time. So yes, I hope you all enjoy the United States Grand Prix, and I can't wait to see you